All right, and there it is. We are live. It is Toys Days. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. Toys Alive. Thanks for joining us. We've got Plastic Vomit Customs in tonight. Hot dang it. Some of you might remember them from Nerf Herder Customs. I remember you remember that, man. Remember even the first time we pulled up, you were like, oh, that's a Nerf Herder Customs? I was wondering where they went. There we go, man. Now we know.
There
The
you go.
duo, Jason and Nicole.
Yeah. Looking forward to that, man. I was telling you, I just had to run in the other room and grab some of these beautiful pieces because they're going into a new case, which just came in the other day. Got to be honest with you, man. I had bragged about this case that I was getting for my 5.5s, and I thought it was all super duper cool. And I got home from a little trip today and saw the box, and it's smaller than what I had anticipated. Story of my life. So here we are. I don't know. I think it'll definitely work. It just won't work like I wanted it to. Again, story of my life. But hey, here we are, man. Here we freaking are, buddy. How are you?
I'm great, man. I am great. To be honest with you, you kind of hit like on a thing there. I think I've ever brought it up in the show before, man. I have like a holy trinity of rage. Basically, wasted time, wasted money, wasted energy. If two of the three are getting like pulled on, I'm a little like, oh. The moment all three, oh man, I am losing it at that point. Hey, you know what we didn't do tonight though? We didn't remind everybody to click that live chat. We didn't end up saying hello to everybody who ended up coming in. So Bootleg Toyco, what's going on? Bliss Receptor, what's going on? Suki, how you doing? Stormico Station, what is going on? Nim Studios, how are you? Zymaco, what is up? Uncle Spank, Spanky Doodle, what is going on, man? Congratulations on that hot sauce. PK Mates, what is going on? Recycle Galaxy, how are you? Skilled one, dude. Big ol' hugs to you, my friend. Stripe 7, what is up? We're gonna have to bring you back in again very, very soon. By the way, B can we'll talk to you in the DMs, but I want to get you back in because we need another episode of Strife 7. Carolina Cool Cat, what is going on, homie? How are you? Pocket Salsa. I'll never be able to say it like B. I might as well just always leave Pocket Salsa for B. I should just say.
Pocket salsa. Pocket salsa. What is up, everyone? You're right, dude. Another episode with Strafe would be cool. And it's funny that you say that, man, because you and I were talking about really starting to do some of this collectors tours, if you will. If people have a tour or want to show off their collection or certain parts of a collection, or maybe there's a legit dope grail piece that you have that nobody knows about and you just want to say, hey, look what I got. We would love to see it on the show. I was going to put out a post about that. That'll probably happen next week. Didn't happen this week. But Strafe was one of the first guys I reached out to, and he's just like, oh, hell yeah. And his response was like, well, can it be my own stuff? Sure. If you have a collection of your own stuff, fuck, we'll take a look at that too. I would love to see some of these old school pieces.
I was just put this. You know, One Trick
Yeah.
Pony has a piece that I'm sure for him is probably like. It's not a grail piece, but if you imagine looking through that dude's collection and then all of us seeing a hot glue gun cast of that shadow like ninja, that Sub-Zero head, or like I can't
Mm.
remember the name of the head, but the first time we ever cast that was like with hot glue, man. You guys, and yeah, can you imagine if Strike 7 has one of all of them? To be able to see them all. Also, you just meant they mentioned Zimot Co up there in the chat. Skilled one said need another Zimot Co. Dude, Zimot Co. Those eggs. I don't know if they're from the
Oh,
light bulbs you bought that ended up being the wrong size, or when you went back there and you bought a bunch of light bulbs, or what was going on there. But gorgeous, dude, and a prime example of what can happen if you polish your pieces. Hot diggity. Whew.
yes, dude. It's so clean, man. And actually, I just got a Zimot Co piece in today, which we'll take a look at next week. But I believe, actually, I know what it is. It is Deputy 8, and I am excited to open that one. We'll take a look at that next week. But I did get the package, man. So thank you very, very much. And now that I, kind of am back home and kind of looking around at some of these pieces, um, I missed a lot of stuff this week, man. I think I was going off of memory most of all, and was kind of back digging through some receipts to see who I got. And then I got home and realized that, holy shit, I forgot a lot. So maybe we'll play catch up next week or something like that, man. I don't know. I'm 2 weeks away, by the way, from being out of this freaking cubby hole of a room that I'm in, which I'm very much looking forward to that, dude. So a little bit more organized coming up 2 weeks. Thank you, by the way, man. I'm sorry that I just cut you off, but I just wanted to say thank you for the post this week. Crumbs totally took over and grabbed the reins and was like, I got this mothership. And you did a fantastic job, dude. You know what, man? Your posts are way funnier than mine, dude. We were talking about that, and I think you nailed it when you said, I said, man, I sound like the corporate douche pretty much when I do my posts, and you come in there, dude, and it's just it's comedy every time. Great job.
Dude, if anything, I like yours. I like yours a lot. Yours, in my opinion, appeal to a much larger audience. They're more sane. For anybody who's never seen our show, they're more appealing. Mine are almost like for like Skilled One and Jazz and Uncle Spank. They really are for the homies who are here every week. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And that's the way it should be, honestly.
Well, it's a nice little spice up, man. And you know what? You've been carrying the ball, I think, like the last 2 weeks before this week. So we switch in and out. It's fun. Hey, you posted about it a little bit, actually. And I know we're not going to eat up too much time because we want to pull a plastic vomit in here earlier the better. They're sitting in that waiting room there.
Sure.
But you posted about it. You're going to be doing the Toyz on Tap Black Market tomorrow night, correct?
That is correct. Bootleg Toy Market tomorrow night. There's going to be some homies, man. Speaking of Pocket Salsa is going to be over there tonight, wheeling and dealing. Nim Studios also in the house. Weston Harris also in the house. And Junk Fed in the house, dude. So given that format and how it is, very excited to see what everybody has. So yeah, that'll be fun, man. Also, you and I on Tuesday got to sit down and chat with Abe on the Toyz on Tap podcast. That'll be coming out next week, man. And when I posted that, a lot of people said, wow, worlds collide. What's up, Fletch? Mike, what's happening? But they were saying when worlds collide, Toyz on Tap and Toyz Alive. And that's what it felt like, man. That was really fun. I felt like we could probably do like a 5-part series probably, and probably still not be finished.
Dude, so we got off. I told you, and I'm like, I feel fucking bad, man. Abe has been in the scene so long. He's a maker. He's done so much. We didn't end up talking about his work. The dude is such a pro at being an interviewer. He ended up grilling us. We didn't think to turn the tables back on him and probe him about this stuff, really. And then I was just thinking about it. Can you imagine a chill of if Open It Already was still coming around? Me, you, Open It Already gang, and Abe just chilling. What a fucking 4-hour podcast that'd be. But
yes,
we gotta bring him on here, man. If anything, because
dude,
I don't know if the crew knows about him. Gotta do a little.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. No, I agree, man. And when on my drive home today, I was thinking, dude, we need to just return the favor and have him on this show. And I think that would be a great episode. But yeah, do that interview. Like I said, man, it'll be fun. Check that out on Monday. I believe it's coming out. And Abe did a great job. Thank you again, Abe, for having us on, man. That was very fun.
Probably the least digression you and I have ever done in a toy convo.
Yeah. Man, we covered a lot of stuff, man. And I kind of tried to allude to that a little bit in the thing where we talked about toys, and then lo and behold, we talked about a bunch of non-toy related stuff, go figure. But it was all pretty much based around the scene. And I think that's what's very cool about us three sitting down for a chat, is that I feel like we're all three of us, amongst many other people here, are just passionate about the scene in general. And that I think always brings up some good discussion. We drooled over artists, some of who are in this very room right this very minute. And that's just how it is, man. It's fun. That's what we do.
That's kind of what we do.
Yeah.
For anybody who's not familiar, I'm gonna pop a link here for you guys. It's gonna be for Plastic Vomit Customs. So anybody wants to go check out their page, please feel free to go and check that out because I'm hoping that you guys will have a bunch of questions as well because they have a lot of work, man. And actually, Death and Strawberries even this morning sent me a picture of one of the pieces. I know that they just wrapped up. Nicole, I suppose, part of their team, just wrapped up those purple droids with the white. I think we all thought it was a rub, but I have no idea now. When's Death and Strawberries brought that up, and I was kind of like, I thought it was a rub, and then I went looking through, didn't see it brought up, so it's like, well, shit. Gotta know what the hell that is, where you're sitting there carefully doing all those lines each and every friggin' time. Do you even know what I'm talking about?
Dude, great. Yeah, no, everything that they do, I'm just looking at the selection here in front of me of some pieces that I have. And, we have the Troopers, of course. And then this guy came the other day, dude, and I need to thank them for this when they come on, dude. This 3.75 Jawa, get the hell out of here. That is amazing. I love that. I mean, come on. This guy with the forearms, get the hell out of here. Foo, dog. I don't know why I'm showing these all right now. I was going to show these when they're on, but I mean, might as well. Goodness. So yeah, variety is there. 3.75s, amazing work, man. Let's just bring them in, dude. God, we're sitting here talking about them.
Well, it's always kind of nice to talk about them without having to. Abe called the other day, right? He was like, I'm going to make you guys feel uncomfortable now. It's like, oh, shit. It's like, yeah, it's almost easier to. I would actually say they're almost like has no talent, but better. That's kind of what they put me on mind of.
Agreed, dude. Agreed. I've had a lot of conversations with people regarding has no talent, and just kind of the quality is, I mean, let's be honest, dude, sometimes it's just a little bit all over the place. Not with Plastic Vomit. It is legit every single time. And I mean every single time.
Even the helmetless Vaders, I was looking at the paint apps on them, man. Like they're pretty fucking close on the face as the old Power of the Force Awakens, if not like not as stupid looking.
Yeah. Agreed, man. Worst villain ever. What's up, man?
All right, well, let's pull them in then. If you guys are watching, we're going to send you that invite link. Please feel free to hop in whenever you would like. Don't feel like you just got to charge in. I can't remember how that happened. When we were in a waiting room, did we end up sliding him right in the moment that they admitted, or did we have to accept? I think we just slid right in, eh?
I can't remember. I don't know.
Hey, guys, how are you today?
Good. How's it going?
Going very well. Would you like to introduce yourself for everybody watching here tonight?
Yeah, I'm Jason.
I'm Nicole.
We are Plastic Vomit.
Plastic Vomit, man. We were just drooling over these 3.75 pieces. First of all, thank you guys for not only the Jawa, but then I think it was last show or maybe the week before when we looked at all the giveaways, and you guys sent a slew of giveaways, and they are all freaking amazing, man. So let's jump right into it. Golly, it seems like it's mostly Star Wars based stuff. The majority of stuff that I see, but they're just, what kind of got you into the toy making scene in general?
I get it's kind of a backstory, and I wanted to tell because a lot of people kind of get a kick out of this. But we met on a Facebook toy page on the internet, and she was living in Oklahoma, and I was living in Ohio, and we started talking online, and just out of nowhere, the conversation came up that she was making custom My Little Pony figures. And it just so happened that I'd been making custom Star Wars figures that I was only just like making them with my kids for our collection as kind of like a hobby. I wasn't selling them at the time or anything. And as we got to talking, like eventually we started flying out back and forth from Ohio to Oklahoma and the other way around, like every other week. And because ticket costs were so much, we decided we were going to start selling figures to like pay for plane tickets so we could go see together. And that's kind of how we got into like actually selling the custom toys, was because we were trying to make money to buy plane tickets so we could fly back and forth to see each other. But eventually she moved to Ohio and we got married, and now we just do it for fun.
Dude, what a great story there. Holy smokes.
Definitely one of the better ones I've ever heard. Damn, hell yeah. But I have to ask now because I'm a little curious. Do you still also run your My Little Pony like custom page as well? Like, do you guys both still do like your separate customs, or now do you guys put all your energy into this here with the Plastic Vomit customs?
It's mainly the Plastic Vomit now. The My Little Ponies, not quite as much business there. Star Wars fans are hardcore.
They're hardcore, and I think you guys have definitely hit on very like a niche group that is definitely really growing. Like, that's what's sick about it, is that anybody who's never seen those figures think it's a brilliant idea. Anybody who's seen some of those concept figures before, their mind is blown to be able to see them. What's kind of like the driving force, if you don't mind my asking, between some of like the being the Star Wars? Is it that like you guys just are totally submersed in it as well?
My collection has always been geared towards like 3.75 5-point articulation figures. That's just the style that I like. So when I started making customs, it was basically just like Star Wars repaints. And then it's like I found a couple of pages of like customizers and stuff on Facebook, and eventually I started doing like crossovers with different like Marvel figures or Dino Rider heads on Star Wars figures, and like just random different stuff. And it kind of just snowballed from there to where like I started going out and just hunting all the thrift stores for like the weirdest parts I could find in the quarter bins. I could smash them together and make some random crazy figures with it. And that's why whenever we first started the page, it was called Nerf Herders Customs, because it was almost all Star Wars then. And we had thought about changing the name anyways, because we started like gearing towards other stuff other than just Star Wars. And what kind of drove the nail in the coffin for it is I did a search one time and found out there was like 2 other Nerf Herders Customs. There was like one guy making lightsabers and another guy doing like Star Wars print art. So when I found out there was other people out there with the same name already, I was like, yeah, we're definitely changing the name. And she came up with the name, and I thought it was just awesome.
Great name, man. I mean, that's we came across the same thing, as a matter of fact, and we just decided to keep it anyways. But yeah, it's tricky when it comes to that. So let me ask you something. So like, say on this figure right here, Jason, are you doing all the work on this, or are you guys collabing on this in any way, or on any of these Star Wars figures? Nicole, I know that he was saying that you were making the majority of the crystal clear ones, which are freaking amazing, by the way. But how is that work kind of divided up between the two of you?
We honestly kind of both do our own thing. I mean, we help each other with stuff. Like, I have ideas for certain figures, and like sometimes if she's really good at like painting really detailed like emblems or anything like that. Like if I have some like super straight lines or like emblems and stuff, I might have her do those, or like she's crystal clear figures. She does none of them, so like I'll help her working with those to get like a batch of them finished. But for the most part, we kind of like both do our own thing and then just sell it on the same page. Like you'll even see that like even the way we sell stuff is completely different. Like she usually does like a big drop of a lot of figures, and she'll post about it like way ahead of time and build it up, where I'm the kind of person that I do a lot of just like kit bash figures on the fly, and as soon as it's done I post it, not even like say put no advance notice. It's like first come first serve, and it's gone. We might never see it again.
Isn't that funny, man? I think you just named the 2 very distinct styles of selling in this scene, man. Where people, like, you know, plan it out, and you know when it's coming, you set the alarm and everything. And then there's other guys like Jason, and you just like, holy shit, dude, he just dropped like 4 things. And then it's like, oh, when's that going on? Oh shit, it's right now. But yeah, man, that's very, very cool. Crumbs, you were gonna say something a second ago.
Oh shoot, I have no idea at this point. I'm just been enjoying listening along, man. Sorry about that, guys. I am curious. With the crystal figures, actually, if you don't mind, Nicole, how are you getting that tight white lining on those droids you guys just ended up posting about?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I have them right here, and they're actually they just went live on eBay.
Mm.
You'll be able to find the link on our Instagram tonight, and those lines I hand painted on there.
Wow.
okay, that is painstaking.
Yes. That's why there's only 2 of them.
If you don't mind my asking, how many coats of white did that end up taking to like get them that white, dude?
Probably 3.
Wow. Do you have any type of background in painting per se? Because the paint on, and that could actually be a question for either one of you. I'm always interested to know, when you come up with stuff like that and how perfect that is and how glossy that is. There's a lot of guys or a lot of just artists out here in general that do that kind of work. And some people are like, man, I just get the microscope out and just kind of go at it. I don't think, yeah, go ahead.
Honestly, this is how I paint the lines. I have like,
that's what I'm talking about.
Because I am like so OCD about making sure everything is perfect. And I got like brushes that I've literally trimmed the bristles down to like next to nothing. Whereas like 3 bristles and like 3 centimeters long, so I can just like edge the lines perfectly. And if it's messed up, I have to redo it because I like can't stand like any imperfection on it just because I'm like so OCD about it.
Wow.
So that being said, do you find you end up like really hyper fixating when you're working on a couple figures?
Definitely. it gets bad sometimes. And it's the worst when it gets messed up. Like I've like thrown figures across the room and shattered them one time because it's like I've spent a bunch of time. Well, it wasn't because of the painting, but I was doing a bunch of when I first started doing, and Brian will know this. When I first started doing the Blue Star figures, I was spraying the original Kenner figures, and I was doing that for a long time. And the only reason I stopped doing that is because for some reason I'd done them for about a year, and I would hit them with like that real glossy clear coat afterwards. And for some reason, I don't know if it was like the humidity at the time of the year, but I would spend the time I would paint spray all the blue on, then hand paint all the details on. And the last thing I would do would be to hit them with a clear coat. And I was having like whole batches of them that I'd have done. And when I got done, like did the last step and hit them with a clear coat, I'd get real bad orange peel across the whole figure, and all the paint would peel up on like figures I'd worked on for a week. And so it's like hours upon hours on painting just like ruined. And that just kept on happening over and over again. And I was like so frustrated at one point that I just like smashed them on the ground, and I'm like about done. But then luckily we found some blue resin that was like about perfect to where we can now make the figures out of resin. So I don't have to paint the blue on there anymore, because it was the mix of the blue paint and the clear coat that was having a bad reaction, which it was really weird because like I used that same combination for like a year and never had any problems. And then just out of nowhere, it just like, I don't know if like the company that was making it like changed their ingredients or something, but it was really frustrating for a while because that was like my favorite figure to make. And then for a while, it was taking me weeks to finish one, so I kept on having to like redo them. And I'd sometimes redo, like then I'd have to like strip the figures down, which take like 2 or 3 days to strip all the paint back off. And it was taking me like 2 or 3 times of repainting each figure before sometimes like I would get it where it wouldn't wrinkle up. And it was really frustrating.
God, I just had a question for you and I just forgot it. Dang it.
Man, that sounds like wasted time, money, energy to me. I'd be friggin' throwing.
Oh, it was bad.
I hate when it becomes almost like tantrum. You know what I mean? Like if we were like karate experts and we decided to like go to the punching bag and hit it up, it'd be nothing. Right. But when you're like a nerd and you're like, look at this painted toy and you're just like whip it the ground, something that's a tantrum, it's like, damn it. But no, man, that's incredibly frustrating. Are you guys currently then color matching for like? Are you trying to color match all your resins for your pours? Like you're not really hitting them most of them with paint at this point? Because you mentioned like the
It
blue
just
resin.
depends on the figure. Like Nicole does a lot of the resin, and I do. I mean, the some of the stuff I do is 3D printed resin, and then but most of the stuff I do is like kit bash figures. I like take I mean like mix parts and then repaint them and whatnot. But we do kind of like a mix of everything. Like some of it's resin, some of it's kit bash, and some of them are kit bash and resin, and it's just whatever we have available at the time and whatever we're doing that we need for it. So
now I know that you and I were talking just recently, and you had mentioned the possibility of actually doing some molding and casting. Is that something that you guys are going to get into eventually?
I've wanted to do it for a long time, and we actually like we're kind of looking in to get some kits, and we'd love to do it honestly, because a lot of times we'll find like parts and pieces that we want to use for a figure, and we like go out and hunt all the time. Like we're like big time toy hunters. Like we've got like you guys are talking about collections. Sometimes I like to come back on and show you our collection. It's kind of a mess right now, but it's like we have multiple rooms of our collection, and it's like ungodly huge. But yeah, like we go out hunting every spare second we have for like vintage toys, random like toy shops. Like we go on like toy hunting road trips sometimes. But anyways,
dude, I love those posts of yours when you do those, man. I'm thinking you guys have a lot of spots out there, unless you just travel.
Oh my god! Like we don't live far from where the Kenner factory was too. So there's like not the factory, but the Kenner headquarters in the like Cincinnati. So you get a lot of like Star Wars stuff around here and a lot of old Kenner stuff, which you can find at yard sales or on like marketplace and stuff like that, flea markets. But when I'm out like hunting at stores, I always look for like I said, I dig through all the quarter bins, like looking for just random weird pieces to find to put on a figure. But a lot of times I'll find that piece one time and use it, and then I never have it again. Where like if I was molding and casting stuff, I could cast that piece and have it a million times over instead of just being able to use it one time and make these like figures only once. Because sometimes I get kind of bummed out because I'll make really cool figures and I almost know I'm never going to find that part again. And I end up selling it to somebody because somebody will message me like, "Oh, is that for sale?" I'm like, "Yeah, I guess I'll sell it." And I'm like, I know I'm never going to find that part to make it again.
Which kind of brings up Pocket Salsa's poking on that right now, actually. What's a toy that you're looking for and haven't been able to find? Or what is like a grail piece that you guys find constantly eludes you? Both of you, even.
One of my grail pieces, which I know I'll never find in the US, but it's the UK Action Force Robo Skull. It's like, it's almost like a TIE fighter with a skull for the body of the TIE fighter. I don't know if you ever seen it, but it's pretty crazy looking. And
so I'm gonna pull out. That is pretty cool looking. Sorry. So if anybody else isn't familiar with that, hot damn.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it was only made in the UK, so I know I'm never going to find it over here. And they sell for like $500 or $600 complete, so I'd probably never buy one either. So.
Oof. Okay, Nicole, what about you? What's a grail for you?
I'd have to say it's a oh, where did we go? I'd have to say it's a My Little Pony. It's G1 Milky Way on card. I have an army of her, but I don't have her mint on card.
A G1 Milky Way mint on card.
Yeah.
Damn.
I know you're trying to pull it up.
Oh, of course, have to. What makes this one so sick to you, if you don't mind my asking?
I'm sorry?
What, because I don't know much about My Little Ponies, but what makes this one so, like, special that you need it?
It's her color combination, and I have a thing for stars. It's just covered in stars.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Dang it all. You know, I'll be honest with you. I have nothing against My Little Ponies because, admittedly, one of like the first toys I didn't know was My Little Pony. We go on a road trip. Of course, my brother gets a dinosaur book with a dinosaur, and for some reason, the purple on a My Little Pony appealed to me. Way years later, you're like, oh, that weird pony toy was actually a My Little Pony. Hot dang. That's sharp, man. Have you been collecting My Little Ponies since you were a kid? Like, has that always kind of been like your area of toy?
Yeah, I loved My Little Ponies as a kid, but I didn't have very many of them. And then when my oldest was about 9, she got really into My Little Ponies. And so we started collecting together, and then we realized that there was a whole community that customized My Little Ponies. So that's how I got started in the customizing toys.
So do all your kids end up collecting toys as well?
Both my kids did. We actually have 5 kids together. We got like a Brady bunch here. But I have 2 boys that I had before we got together, and she has 2 girls and a boy that she had before we got together. With my son, used to collect toys, and that's kind of how it got me back into collecting. I've always been like a collector of all kinds of random shit forever, but I really got into toy collecting whenever both my kids kind of got into it, and then they got out of it, and I never stopped.
As far as collecting goes, Nicole, you said that you were looking for something that's mint on card. Is that usually how you like to collect, or is it just that specific one that you want to have? And then same question for you, Jason, when you're out there looking for stuff like that Robo Skull, man, I don't know, dude. Can you even find one of those in the box? I've never even seen that before.
One of those like in the box.
Yeah.
But honestly, I collect all loose. Like even when I
Okay.
buy stuff, I take it out of the package. I like to take it out and play with it and pose it, and you know what I mean? Sometimes like I don't know. I think toys need to be taken out of the package. Not saying I do have a couple like vintage Star Wars figures that are mint on card that I would never take those out of the package. But
yeah,
I don't specifically collect mint on card stuff. Like any new stuff that I buy, I take it out of the package, especially because basically anything new is going to be mass produced anyway. So it's not like it's going to be worth money in 20 years because there's already probably 1,000 other people keeping mint on card versions of them. Basically, like the 95 or the 4 Star Wars figures that everybody kept them on the card, and now you can get them for less than what they cost brand new. So
no kidding.
And for the mint on card pony, I have all the different variations of that pony. I just don't have it on card yet. So that would be the only toy that I have on card.
Nice. I saw one on there. It said like double fancy or something. What's that about?
Twice as fancy. It's just
twice as fancy.
Yeah, it's just that she has the symbol covering her body instead of just like the one on her flank.
Oh, I got you. Okay, that's cool. My sister was big time into My Little Ponies when we were growing up. I was always into Star Wars and stuff like that. But yeah, that's very cool. I noticed you guys do a lot of cross posting with Facebook. Do you? No, I think your Facebook group is a lot larger than what you have on Instagram, right? And how did that happen? Was it just Facebook first and then Instagram was later, and that's why there's a difference there? Do you feel like there's an advantage to selling on one than the other?
Honestly, it's kind of weird. They're like almost, I mean, we got a lot of the same people on both groups, but it's like, it seems like there's more people on the Facebook group that are just collectors looking to buy, where like it seems like a lot of the people that follow us or what we follow on Instagram are other creators. Like Instagram, what I think I see is like a lot more like customizers and artists and stuff on there, where our Facebook group seems like, I mean, there's a lot of the same like customizers and artists in our group on there, but the majority of the people on there are just like Star Wars collectors that are looking to buy like toys, and they're not, I don't know. I just feel like Instagram is geared a lot more towards like artists being able to show their stuff and relate like with common things, where Facebook, it seems like it's just more like buy or sell thing kind of on there.
Yeah, and you know what, man, I don't use Facebook, so but anytime that I think of Facebook, like, you know, people posting art for sale, that's not something that we'd even come up in like the top 5 of things that I think that you would use Facebook for. It feels like it's more kind of like a personal personal type thing. I don't even know. Is it Facebook Marketplace? Is that what you use, or do
we
you?
have like a private group page that's just for our stuff.
C and B, that's actually what I was going to hop in for a second, because admittedly I do have another peer who's in like some marketing stuff, and he's actually said to me, like, admittedly, you would think Facebook isn't operating, because it's not operating the way that we're used to it back in the day, where it was like a social hub. It is way more the benefit of those groups. And I think, like you guys are definitely saying, like, you're noticing almost what a lot of makers on Instagram are having a hard time straying away from, where it's like, it's great to go over to, like, the little command hub and talk to everybody and see what's going on, but it's better also to then have your Facebook where you can then market your stuff to people looking to buy it. Absolutely, man. So out of curiosity, when you're having those individuals, do you find that they're trying to actually network and build as well? Or do you find with that Facebook audience, they almost accept that, like, when you're doing a drop, they chime in to buy, otherwise they kind of just leave you alone?
We get a little bit of both. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of people on there that are just on there to buy and that's it. But then we get a lot of people who are like interested in like the creative side of things too. That it seems like, well, from what I see, like Instagram, I actually use that more for inspiration by seeing other people's stuff, because there's so much like amazing things on Instagram, whereas Facebook, there's some like customizer groups, and like most of the people have like their Facebook page, but you see a lot more of it on Instagram. And I like that. Like I like Instagram basically. I like going on there just to see what other people are making and like get inspiration from all the amazing stuff that people are posting on there, where there's not really as much of that on Facebook, I don't think.
And do you find, like, being two of you, it's a little bit easier to kind of divide, like, managing the pages, or do you find it's still, like, all-consuming for both of you almost?
It's probably all-consuming for both of us.
Did you ever catch it?
Process.
Yeah,
we get a lot of questions asking advice on customizing.
What would you say is probably the most frequently asked question that you get about customizing?
For the clear figures, I get the question all the time: how do I get them so clear and shiny?
Yeah, exactly.
Because when they come out of the printer, they have kind of a frosted look, and then just hit it with a bunch of clear coat to get it back to super shiny.
The question I get asked the most is basically what types of paint that I use and like the paint process on the figures that I paint, which, I mean, it depends on which figure it is, but I had a lot of trial and error to get to where the figures are today compared to whenever I first started, for sure.
Clear, super clear, man. We were just talking to Barrio Boba a couple of weeks ago. I think he had just jumped in the comments, but we were talking about the same thing. He was making those candy heads, and he said the same thing, man. They were coming out and they were a little bit foggy, and then he hit it with some clear coat, and man, they shine right up, and that's kind of what you get there. Phenomenal, man. Yeah, that is crazy clear. You know, the other thing that I noticed about 3D prints, man, and you'll have to tell me, because I know absolutely zero about 3D printing, or I've like seen a machine, and that's pretty much as far as my knowledge goes. But I've noticed that in some 3D prints, it's very easy to see the lines, you know, kind of stacked on top of each other as they go up, and kind of makes the figures. Yours, I don't see any of that. And if anything, I see what it looks like to me is almost like a very faint, like fingerprint. What am I seeing, and why does it do that? Is that a different process, a different printer?
Process. When you see the defined layers, that's actually a filament printer, where the 3D printer moves and it kind of draws the plastic in layers. And I use a resin printer that uses UV light to cure each layer. And the fingerprint, I guess that would be the layers that printer creates. And I haven't figured out how to completely get rid of that yet, but I'm working on it.
And you know what? I wouldn't even say it's a knock on the figure at all, because, like, I'm not kidding you. If you look at this, you can't see it. Like, you have to put it at the right angle and kind of move it around, and then you're like, oh, I see a little bit of something there. But besides that, it's super clear. But yeah, that I guess that makes sense now. It's two completely different things that I'm looking at. Yeah.
When we've talked about that with the resin printers before as well, but like again, you almost have to you have to be looking for it. You know what I mean? Out of curiosity, with those figures there, like, are you guys typically grabbing like STLs? Do you guys sculpt digitally, like, or are you guys like, how are you designing the figures that you're printing, if you don't mind?
Currently, we are purchasing 3D files created by other artists or that have been scanned by other people. Saving up to get a 3D scanner so we can do it ourselves. And also for the pieces that are hard to find, we can scan those and reprint them instead of trying to find them out in the wild.
Yeah, Funky McClunky he's the one to get stuff from if you're looking for 3D print files. He has the best files out there because there's a lot of different people that have 3D print files for figures, but it seems like his are like the absolute best, and there's like a huge quality difference in the figures. Like we've bought from a bunch of different like 3D sculpting people and 3D scanning people who 3D sculpt and 3D scan, and his are by far the like cleanest quality figures.
Dude, you know what? Great account drop right there, Funky McClunky. I don't have anything from him. I don't know if does he print figures out too?
Sometimes he does. He mostly sells files, but occasionally he prints stuff off and sells it. Follow his page. He doesn't do like big drops of multiple figures, but he might do like one or two here and there. But he is constantly like selling stuff, and not like in huge numbers or anything. But I think he mostly just sells his files. Like, he has like, I don't know what kind of scanner he has, but it must be like high tech, because some of the other like people that we get stuff from, like you can just tell it's like a huge quality difference. Like it's like the stuff that he has, he actually touches up like some of the scans, and the figures and the like lines and stuff actually look better on the prints than the original figures do. Like I was going over like a Darth Vader print that I had from him, and an original Darth Vader figure, and where he had like touched up the lines and stuff, the figure, the like details are actually more clean on the print than they are on the original figure.
Yeah, legit account, man. Always super, super clean work. Funky McClunky is who that one is there. People were looking for that one for 3D files or for figures. Like you said, man, the drops are not in very large numbers, but super, super clean work from what I see.
And would you guys say, if you had to pick, like, what would be probably the most popular figure you get asked to make or customize, or when you're going to be dropping again? Is there one, would you say?
The clear Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Dude, I was
hands down.
Yeah. Like they sell out in like minutes every time she sells them.
Yeah, I think I've done 3 or 4 releases of them now, and every time they sell out pretty quick.
And about 50 figures a time.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, gosh, man, I think that's hitting two things really, really hard, is the Boba Fett in general. And then the clearness of that is just puts it over the top. Yeah, I could see those selling out repeatedly. So I noticed, obviously, if you go back through your thread, I think the most common one that you see is the Trooper. There's so many different variations, and dude, I am sprung on these things so bad.
Like honestly, I don't even know how that ended up happening. Like it started out with the blue stars, and like I said, originally I was like spraying the original figures and making those. And then once we started doing the resin figures, I was like, well, hell, we can make these in any color now. And I got to the point where I got so good at painting them. So I'd already probably sold 100 blue stars by the time we started making them out of resin. So it was like the paint process was like really comes like second nature now. So I was like, let's just start making like every color, and we'll try to like see how many we can make. And people just kind of loved them. So as long as people are wanting them,
yes, keep making them, man. One thing that I tried to point out, and you can't really tell because it's you have to kind of be in front of it, but And I don't even know if this was on purpose that you did this or not, man, but the length of that gun when you stand him up and he's perfectly straight.
You know what? That's just
like
that's the original gun for that figure, and it just works out perfect. It's like a kickstand almost.
Yes, yes, absolutely, man. It's going nowhere. You know, the balance on it is like phenomenal, anyways. Even if you took the gun out, but the fact that it is a kind of kickstand, and it's a kickstand, and it doesn't. I mean, it's still a kickstand, but he doesn't lean forward at all. So it's right at that perfect length, man. It's anyways, yeah, please keep making these. The ideas for these, I mean, you know, you got the blue one there. There's one on every one that I have. But that one got a little funky right there. Just going through different color combos, or how are you coming up with the combos for those? I mean, I know the blue star is the blue star.
It's crazy how we honestly get our vinyl by going out and buying pool toys at thrift stores, and we'll cut up the pool toys. And that's why that one has that weird design on it. I was like, that's a really cool design. I'm gonna make something out of that. That was like a blow and pool toy.
Dude, now I gotta go find that pool toy.
We do order some of our vinyl now, but originally we basically got all of our vinyl from just buying pool toys at like dollar stores or thrift stores and stuff. But now it's gotten to the point that sometimes we do have to order it, but we try not to, because you can find a pool toy for $quarter and make 100 capes out of it. So we
no kidding.
Like order it if we don't have to. But it works perfect. Like the thickness and the like everything about it is about basically the same as like the vintage Kenner like vinyl.
You know, one thing that I didn't point out, I think when I opened these, because I opened these right when I get them in the mail, Crumbs is a big smell guy. And now that I'm not going to say that I collect vinyl, because I don't collect vinyl. But when I do buy vinyl, it's got that smell, right? Sometimes when they're painted and they have that glossy coat on them. And holy smokes, man, every time I open a piece of yours, it's phenomenal. And you know what? And now that you say vinyl pool toy, man, it's got that vinyl pool toy smell on it, dude, doesn't it?
Right.
God, that's a great. You know what, man? We had another account on here way back, and they were making. Crumbs remembers this too. There was a guy that was making capes. It was actually capes for a Chewy. And he was making them out of like old school
carpet swashes.
Carpet, yeah, it was just some weird retro stuff like that. But the stuff that you can use to make capes, man, that's a phenomenal idea. And dude, what a budget saver too.
Well, before I came across the pool toys, I was actually cutting up old T-shirts of mine and using cloth capes, but I didn't like to do that because the original Kenner figures mostly had vinyl capes. And then I stumbled across like somebody had said something about using pool toys. I'm like, that's an amazing idea, because you can get them for next to nothing anywhere. So after I found out about that, I was like, that was the way to go. But yeah, at first, if I didn't have a cape to use for a figure, I was just cutting up old T-shirts and like using the original capes to make a stencil and cutting up old T-shirts to make capes for my figures, which kind of looked like garbage at the time. Now that I think back on it, I see every once in a while somebody posts it,
awesome,
of my like early stuff where I had like those capes that I made out of T-shirts, and it's almost embarrassing to see them when I see somebody post them.
That's like bootleg progression, though, man. Like, Burial Boba's even talked about it. Like when you look back at some of the old like Mexican bootlegs, and it goes from being like stapled to being actual blisters to just being tied. You know, it's like even that evolution where you're able to get some more materials, or you're able to find some different stuff. You mentioned like stenciling out a bunch of capes. Do you guys have like a stencil at this point? Have you printed off stencils? Like, how do you go about doing all your capes? Do you just do like a pile at a time?
Well, we basically we have a lot of the vintage Kenner figures, like the original ones with the capes. So we made stencils from those. But you can actually get online. There's a guy called Toy Ploy. He has a YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
You can like print, like scan, or not scan, but download and print the stencils off of his page. He has it where you can just like download the stencils off there. So if anybody's looking for them, you can get them on there. I don't know. Do they cost anything? I don't think they do. Okay, yeah, they're free.
He's the guy from like England or something, right?
Yeah, he does mostly like toy repairs and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, that's the dude who taught me how to fix the leg bands on the Motu 5.5 figures. Yeah, I ended up just buying the other ones that he recommended online, where it's like a totally different setup. So
yeah, I know exactly what you mean. We have some of those for our Motu.
Yeah, they work great. What about like have you guys ever done a collab with one of your figures, like maybe on a pony, or done any like combo pieces like that at all for a show or anything?
No, we've never actually set up at any shows. We were planning on going to 5 Points Festival this year, and we weren't going to set up there. Like, we had actually thought about it, but by the time we found out about it, it was already all sold out, so we couldn't get like a table. And then we were planning on going up there and just taking a bunch of stuff with us and throwing it in a backpack and like running around. But the day came and it was like a 10-hour drive, and we just like we had to take the kids to the airport to go visit family like 2 hours away, and then drive 10 hours on top of that. We were just like, I had to be back at work Monday morning, so we were going to basically drive up Friday afternoon, get there Friday night, be there Saturday, and then turn right back around and drive back. And we were just like, didn't feel like doing it, but I kind of would have really liked to go there. And like, actually, we didn't take customs with us, did we? I was gonna say, we just did a convention a couple weeks ago, but we didn't take any customs with us. We just took like a bunch of action figures to give away to kids.
I think that's almost even better, man. God damn. If you don't mind my asking, I know you guys kind of touched on this at the beginning of us chatting here. Nicole, why do you approach your drops in large quantities at a time and kind of tease it beforehand? What is it about that approach that appeals to you?
The sellout.
Fair, you like to kind of hype it up, and then you like to almost kind of see how many you can make and watch it all like disappear. I like it. Okay. And then, of course, Jason, if you don't mind my asking, what is it about you that you seem to appeal towards the like instant gratification almost?
I'm too impatient to wait to put it on there. Like, as soon as I get one done, I want to post it. just to like hoping that people will like it, I guess.
Would you guys say that you still probably both make like the same amount of figures in a month, but it's just divided up that yours are almost trickled out in drops and then Nicole's are almost like saved in secret until a big drop? Or is she way faster than you?
Well, it just depends. Like, I work in the pipe fitters union, where sometimes I'm working all the time, and then sometimes I'm laid off for like months at a time. So if I'm laid off, then we probably make about the same amount of figures then. But if I'm working like all the time, she's at home making figures all day long while I'm working. So obviously she's making a lot more than me then. But
so at that point, you're basically like
me leaving my job and just making action figures the whole time. Like, it was a discussion we had earlier today, because things are just going really well, and I'd rather do that than work basically construction forever.
I don't blame you. Yeah, absolutely, man. If you don't mind B. Were you about to say something?
I saw something back here, and it was a worst villain ever was asking it, and it's a great question too. A couple years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, PowerCon moved to Ohio, Columbus, I think. Do you guys go to that?
Yep, it's a couple hours away from us, but we went to it was it past year?
Yeah.
I guess they're getting ready to have another one here soon. We're probably gonna go to it. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, nice, man. I've been to the one, it was in Anaheim down at the convention center before, and I'd gone to 2 previous years. I think it was like, I want to say maybe pre-COVID is when it was, or maybe the first year, something like that, but it was a weird setup. I remember the second year, I think, was probably during a downtime in COVID when, and there was just hardly anybody there. And then after that, that was the last time they had it in Anaheim. So, but that's cool, man. There's usually a lot of good booths there, lots of artists and stuff that's cool. Are you big Motu fans, either one of you, or?
Yeah.
I've got a
nice.
She's got a huge Skeletor collection.
Oh, that's dope. I love
We got
that.
a huge Motu collection, but Skeletor in general.
That's great. He's the best villain. I think for me personally, best villain all time. For me, I'm just saying.
No, oh sorry, because you guys got me sidetracked. Have you always been Motu fans, or has Motu been something later on in life? Have you always loved Skeletor? Like, where did that kind of come from?
Go ahead. For me, it's been more recent. I wasn't always a Motu fan from when I was a kid. I don't know. I guess I appreciate how extra Skeletor can be. It's amusing.
Oh man.
Me personally, I've been a Motu fan since I was a kid. Like I grew up in the 80s and had all the toys, and my older brother had a bunch of the earlier ones too. So I got hand-me-downs of Motu figures, and we had Snake Mountain and Castle Grayskull, and like watched the cartoons every Saturday morning. And I mean, obviously as I got older, I like in my teenage years, I wasn't watching Motu and shit. I was too busy skateboarding and getting in trouble and everything else. But then when I started collecting toys again, I started like coming across Motu figures and picking them up. And then whenever we got together, she had basically already started Skeletor collection. So then it's just snowballed since then into like a huge Motu collection.
Nice. Nothing wrong with that.
I think I showed you one time, Brian, was Phantom Star Killer Skeletor bootleg crossover. Yeah, that's one of my favorite pieces that I have. Phantom Star Killer is one of my favorites for sure. And then having a Skeletor Motu style figure is that's probably one of my favorite figures I got.
Now, was that one that you made?
No, I picked that up, and I think PowerCon wasn't it?
It was
Yeah, we picked that up at PowerCon this past year.
Nice.
I forget who even made it. Like we have the card somewhere. It was on like a card that actually looked like a mech like card. But,
Oh, that's cool. I
can't
know
remember.
there's a guy out there, Chris Bryant Customs, who has made I don't know if you're familiar with that guy or not, but he's made a few of those in different colorways, but he made the classic orange and blue. And I think anytime that somebody makes those, you're right, man. That's a great mashup right there. PSK and Skeletor. That's a great one. Good call.
Now, when you guys say you like Skeletor, I gotta ask, do you like Skeletor like OG comics that came with the like first wave Skeletor, or are you talking like cartoon Skeletor? Because you're saying extra, and I'm assuming cartoon.
It's got to be this for me. It's the Skeletor Filmation version. I mean, that's the one that I think everybody's probably most familiar with. But that's a good question, man. There's a lot of different versions of Skeletor out there. But you know, for me, the Filmation one where he's extra and he's funny and he's such a little diva. And that's why I love those memes, right? All those Skeletor memes. Those things are great. He's just so matter of fact. Love that guy.
You can hear that laugh lives rent free in your brain, I think.
Yeah, that is true.
And do you guys have a favorite toy that you like to make? Each one of you.
Trying to think.
I think my favorite clear figure that I've made so far is the R2D2.
Why, if you don't mind?
I don't know. He's my favorite droid, I guess. So I don't know. And he was just fun to put together.
For a long time, and probably still is that Blue Star figures. Just because the colors are like so amazing. Whenever I get done with them, I like just love to look at it. But the Snow Troopers in general has gotten to the point where I've made like literally hundreds of them. And it's like kind of getting to the point now where it's almost mind-numbing keeping on making them. But I still like the Blue Star in general. I just love the colors of it, and like the way it looks when it's done. And I just thought it was a really cool figure.
And who did the paint app on those Vaders recently? The helmetless Vaders.
Oh, that was me.
Dude. Tight, man. He looks much nicer than the OG.
Yeah, and this one right here, like the majority of them actually, this is the only one. The other ones I used original Kenner bodies and then just like repainted the apps because a lot of the original Kenner figures are like the paint's basically already completely wore off by the time I get them anyways. But this is one that I just made that is a funky McClunky print body. I don't know if you can see the details on that or not, but it's the details on his print files are pretty clean.
Super clean.
And the mask pops off and
Oh yeah, man, that is clean.
Did you have to rework that at all for the helmet, or was the print like already set up like beautifully for that head?
well, this head is actually from a Power of the Force figure.
Yeah.
But it didn't really fit like the body really well because the neck on the Power of the Force figure was like way bigger than the vintage style figure. So I had to basically like shave it down a lot and kind of make it to where it fit better. But it's not a like painstaking process or anything, but it's definitely some work.
Man, so I think that's what makes it so good is one, like we have the Power of the Force version of that figure, and then I think there was like an 8-inch version of that figure that was done with like almost like the like vintage style, but we never had that sick vintage with the helmet pull off.
Right.
Clean, man. And then like I said, the Power of the Force stuff, like unfortunately like those heads look a little silly, and your paint app just looks so much nicer than those stupid faces on those ones, man. Really nicely done. Absolutely.
Yeah, I use a lot of the Power of the Force heads, but anymore I usually do at least some repaint on them because they had like a lot of, I'm trying to think of how to like almost like shading and stuff on it, where the vintage figures were like just plain, like no patina look or anything like that to it, or like any shading on it. So anymore, like I try to like repaint them to like make them more match the vintage style.
You guys are definitely killing that, man. Whose idea was it, speaking of vintage style, to do the Headman figure?
You know what? I think I did it once just because I had a royal guard that didn't have a cape, and people just kept on asking about it. And so then we ended up finding a print file for that figure, and the shield that we actually used was actually a print file for a life-size shield. I don't know if you look at the back of the shield on that Headman shield, there's actually like slots where like hands would go into the side of the shield because it's actually was originally made for like an actual human to use, and like scaled it down to like the size of an action figure because that was like the closest one we could find to look like the original one.
I would absolutely say so, man. Sorry, B. Go ahead, dude.
Oh, nothing. I had something that was totally not even related to what we're talking about, man. But I'm glad you brought up the head, man. I know that that's one of Crumb's favorite figures for sure. My question was more geared towards shows. With PowerCon being out there, I don't know what the toy scene is out there in Ohio. It sounds like it's pretty good, just with all the stuff that you guys have out there. But do you do shows at all?
No, like we haven't. We're planning on doing some stuff. I've set up at shows in the past just to sell like toys, but not like our customs or anything. But we're talking about coming at. We've applied for a booth at Designer Con out in California.
Oh, nice. Okay,
I don't know like how easy it is to get a booth there, or if it's like a long wait, but we applied a while ago and haven't heard anything back from it, so I don't really know what's going to happen with that, but we're hoping to get to come out there.
Yeah, now recently somebody had said, shoot, Crumbs, you'll have to remind me, man. Somebody had said that they had tried to get a booth there and they were sold out. I personally find that freaking hard to believe just because there's so many booths there. And last year, I don't think they sold out last year either. They actually had opened up another section of it, and there's smaller booths, and there's, I mean, shoot, man, there is dozens and dozens and dozens of these smaller booths. I'd be blown away if they were
I hope we
sold out
there because I think that would be awesome. But we actually live a few hours away from Earth to Kentucky. We go out there sometimes and visit Dennis, and we actually got to meet Quentin from Astroplastics was there whenever we went out there the last time, and there's some awesome people, and there's so many customizers in Kentucky. It's crazy, like just in that area, and we're not really far from there. But Dennis had been talking about, I think he said maybe Jason Barnett from Recycle Galaxy. They were talking about, I think that's who he said. Maybe, I think Jason might be on here. He could correct me if I'm wrong, but talking about doing a custom toy show there, which hopefully
that'd be awesome.
That'd be pretty awesome because there's a lot of toy artists in that area.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And then you have in Cincinnati, you have, I mean, there's people right out there as well. One Trick Pony being the main one that I can think of. Skull and Void. There's guys right out in that area too. But man,
a bunch of the boys are going out to E2K actually tomorrow. Wurstville and Everett is saying if you guys are free tomorrow, make the drive out to E2K. Come, there's pizza.
Yeah, there's an art show there. It's a pizza party art show.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. Right, man. So with you guys being there, have you guys ever brought some work over to sell out of E2K at this time, or?
No, we've never brought
yet.
stuff. We've brought stuff to give to them as gifts, but not to sell. Like literally, we have. I mean, we almost have trouble keeping up with the demand of what people want, which is a good thing.
Explain some more, why don't you?
Someone asked us about like selling out. Like we have people ask us, like local toy stores ask us if we want to sell stuff out of their store, but it's almost like we don't have like enough time and I don't know, like what we make and it sells pretty quick, so we just basically stick with that for now, unless like we can hire our kids out to start.
See, that's what I was just about to say, man. I was like, you know, you got the 5 kids and you're doing drops of like 50 and like all these odds and sods throughout the month, but you're just not utilizing the kids, man. Come on. Each one could easily be doing like 10 paint apps a day. Do they actually come on, they see you guys making toys all the time. Like, have they started to kind of dabble into it a bit?
Every now and again.
The youngest kids have. Like, actually, that whenever I got started making custom action figures, it was during COVID, and I was just trying to find, like, I got laid off from my job, so I was home all the time. My kids were home with me because they were off at school, so I was trying to find stuff to keep their time occupied, and I had a bunch of beater Star Wars figures, and we just started painting Star Wars figures as something to do, and I randomly posted some. I was selling some Star Wars figures on a toy page, and me and my son were like, let's post some of the painted figures we made and just see if anybody will buy them. And we put them on there, and people started like loving them. We were like, holy crap, we didn't think anybody was going to, like, we forgot to put them on as a joke. And people like started buying them, and we're like, holy cow, there's actually a market for this stuff. And then somebody had told me about a toy page called the Smuggler's Den. It's only on Facebook, but if you're on Facebook, the Smuggler's Den is a great page to check out. But that was like where I really got into like seeing that there was a lot of other customizers out there, and there was actually like people doing this stuff. Like, I had no clue when I first started making it that anybody else that even did it. I thought it was just like something stupid me and my kids were doing to pass the time.
That seems like a wonderful way to pass the time to me, man.
Right.
Also, I don't know how neither one of us have touched on it. I'm really sorry. I'm not familiar with Murph Records, but I'm loving the Shogun Warrior shirt.
Oh.
Murph Records. Everybody asks me about this shirt. I found this shirt at a thrift store, and I just thought it was really cool because it has like the little monster with the headphones. And I bought it, and I was thinking, this is probably like some cool punk label or something, or like it's like a bluegrass like label from West Virginia. I ended up looking it up. It's like, I think they have like one band on their label. But the shirt I thought was just really cool.
I'd say so, man. There was a couple times tonight that I had to keep on realizing it said Records, not anything else. I'm like, no, it's not a toy company. It's something different.
It almost looks like the old Toy Machine, like skateboard like monster.
It could pass off for a lot of the homies in our scene. Like it's a very similar art style to like what's
Right?
prevalent right now. What you got over there, B?
I was looking at all these comments from all these Kentucky people in here, man. There's a lot of people from Kentucky. Super jealous that you guys live that close to Earth to Kentucky, man. They got some really cool stuff going on out there. What is next on the list for you guys? I know that, like I said, we kind of circling back on it now, but the molding and casting, I don't know if that's the next thing planned for you. It seems like, I don't know how you do your selection of figures that you do. So like the 3.75 Jawa, was this the first time that you had done this one just recently?
Yeah, like that was just, I don't even know how that came about. Actually, she was making the clear Jawas, and I was just sitting there and I was like, let's make a big one. And I was like, let's make him 3.75 so he's the same size as everybody else. And we printed one off and we're like, this is pretty cool. So I was like, let's just make some and we'll see if they sell.
Oh, they're very cool. And I hope they all sold out.
Yeah, well, the first time they sold out like very fast. And then like the last couple of times I've just put out a few at a time. But I made, I think like, 10 the first time. And they sold out like basically within an hour. And then the last few times I've dropped them, I've only put a few out each time. But I've got actually a whole tub of them that I got to paint over here that I plan on making within the next week or so.
Nice. They're great, man. I think they look very good. How do you end up doing your figure selection? Like, how did you land on the Jawa? Well, you said that she was doing the other one, but for your next round, I mean, is it just another snow trooper, or is there? Right
now I've got like a box sitting right beside me of black snow troopers, orange snow troopers, and blue snow troopers that all need their paint apps done on them, which I do those kind of on the side as I'm making other stuff. I like to make like more one-offs and kind of made one or two figures and like different things. Cause like I said, I've made hundreds of those snow troopers. So anymore, it's kind of like if I don't have something else to do, I make those. But just to keep my creativity like not so boring anymore, because like there was a time where I was making those for multiple hours a day, every day, and like just trying to keep up with the demand of them. And it got to almost the point where I didn't like doing it, so I didn't want to get to that point. You know what I mean? Because I do love doing that figure, but it got to almost where it was like felt like a job instead of having fun doing it. So anymore, I try to do like other stuff other than those, even though a lot of people like those. But if I don't have something else going on, I'll make those. But the way that I kind of come up with stuff that I'm making is basically just the parts that I can find. Like right now, I just bought a bunch of vintage X-Wing pilots. So I plan on doing a bunch of different kinds of vintage like X-Wing pilots, like some big Starklighters and some Greedo pilots and maybe some other like vintage Kenner figures that weren't ever made into the pilots or just anything. But I got a bunch of those set aside to make, and I got a bunch of the helmetless Darth Vaders coming up, I think, and some what the hell was it? The Dark Side Yoda. I remember you bought that first one off of Dino.
Yes.
Yeah, I love doing that figure. That figure's a pain in the ass to make because like it has like knee articulation, the original figure does, but I wanted to keep it like just the 5-point articulation, and the legs were too long to be a Yoda. So I cut out like the knee articulation and then glue like the bottom part and the top part of the leg together. But for some reason that plastic that's made out of doesn't want to glue together. So I have to like do like a balancing act and just like put the glue on there and let it sit for hours. And like, it's a pain in the butt, but I love the look of that figure when it's done, just the colors of it and everything.
Yeah, and that's exactly what drew me to it was the colors on that one. That's a great little piece. And then Nicole, for you on your account, what's next on your docket?
First part of next week, I'll be having a sale on Forlom. I'll be doing a whole batch of them for a sale probably Monday night.
Nice.
Monday
Monday
night
night
on the
sale.
Facebook page. Dude, we don't see Forlom very often. What the heck made you go with Forlom on this one?
I really like him. I think he's a super cool looking figure.
I like that reasoning. I would have to agree.
There's really no rhyme or reason to the figures that I pick for my sales. It's just whatever I think is cool.
Fair. To be honest with you, you're picking good ones so far, man. Absolutely. With the droid set going up on eBay, is this your first time kind of doing an eBay drop of like a one-off, or do you guys do that every now and then as well?
I think this is only the second time I put any of my figures on eBay. The first time was a Leia that I had left over, and this time it's a one-off, and we'll see how it does.
I got a question for you guys real quick, just because I'm seeing it go, some people kind of kicking around the name in the chat there. What's your take on Stan Solo?
I really don't.
Enough said. Enough said right there.
Well, I mean, there's like on the Facebook side of things, there's like a ton of drama going on between like Stan Solo and some other guys. Like, I really don't have anything going on with that at all, but I just don't want to get brought into our page. But
yeah,
I mean, it's gotten to the point of like guys, like he's like supposedly like fighting with this other guy, Chris Cron, that bought his original stuff. There's like this guy robbed people, not Stan Solo, but the Chris Cron guy, like I guess did like what was like pre-order on a bunch, like 13 custom figures, and took like I guess hundreds of thousands of dollars from people and never delivered on them. And that kind of got things like started, and like then it got to be like this big war between these guys, and then like people started taking sides, and people are like fighting on pages and stuff, and like people are like kicking people off of other pages if you're like a part of a certain page, and it's like I just want to stay out of it. Like I don't want to be involved in any of that stuff, and I don't know any of the guys personally anyway, so like I never like talked to it or anything. Like,
I'm looking at
honestly, Stan Solo, I think he probably has the best quality product as far as Star Wars like custom figures, but it's kind of crappy that all that drama is going on with it, because I know that there's a lot of people that are like not even buying his stuff anymore because of it, and it's kind of a shame because his product, I think, is probably the number one like quality product there is. Like, I don't know if you ever seen any of his figures. I've actually got a really cool one. I'm going to grab it real quick.
I was actually just about to ask, do you guys collect some of his work?
It's you're grabbing the Chrome Boba Fett.
This figure,
the multicolored
is
one?
amazing.
Oh my God, that is amazing, dude. I love that one. If I had to have one Stan Solo figure, that would definitely be it.
I mean, it's vacuum, whatever the hell they call it. Electroplated, that's it. Even his other figures, like they're factory made. Like he actually sends the sculpts and stuff off to a factory in Asia, and like they look like original Kenner figures, but he makes figures that were never made, and they're literally like factory quality figures.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've seen his Etsy page. And that, you said people getting kicked out of there. That's what actually caught my eye in the chat, was some of these people. Sadat H said he got kicked out. That's amazing. I love that dude and his work. Clam's Toy Box got kicked out. That's crazy. That dude is
actually like I got kicked off the page too, and like I've never even like there's actually, it's kind of weird. He has a guy, I think he's out of the UK maybe, but he has a guy that sells stuff for him here in the US. And I actually know the guy personally. He lives like 20 minutes away from me. I see him at all the same conventions and stuff. And like we have a lot of mutual friends like in real life. And I had only joined their page like a few weeks ago. And then like 2 weeks later, I noticed that I wasn't I saw these people saying they got kicked off the page. So I went and checked, and I was kicked off the page. And I'm like, okay, well, like I don't even know. Like I've never had any interaction with like any of these guys. So I don't really know what the deal is. Somebody told me it's because I was a member of the Smugglers Den. Like if you're a member of the Smugglers Den, I guess they kicked everybody who was like a member of that page off of their page. And like basically banned them from buying their figures, which I thought was like a really bad business model. Because there's some guys literally thousands of dollars of figures off these guys off of Stan Solo, and they kicked them off their page just because they were a member of the Smuggler's Den. Like you said, Clam Box, Sean Clemens. Like I know he had bought tons of stuff off of him, and just like for no reason, like just got kicked out of there and basically banned a bunch of people from buying his stuff who really didn't have like anything in the fight, or like just because they were a member of that page, which that page is just a bunch of customizers showing off their work. It's not like it's like some side on the battle or something that's going on, you know what I mean? But I guess the guy who runs that page had problems with Stan Solo. So basically anybody who was a member of that page, I guess he kind of took it as they're on his side kind of thing. I don't know. It's a bunch of drama that I just don't even want to be involved with, honestly.
Well, outside of silly drama, who would you guys say are some makers that are like some of your favorites at the moment, if you have some?
There's a bunch of them. Recycled Galaxy, Jason Barnett. I love his stuff. Like, honestly, Jason bought some stuff off of me. He actually bought this figure off of me. Like, the first one I ever made is like a purple Grim Reaper. I use like the Emperor Palpatine body, and then like it's actually an Imaginext figurehead that I found, and then just like repainted it. And he bought that off of me, and I got to talking to him on Facebook, and I had no clue that he was Recycled Galaxy for the longest time. Like we were talking on Facebook, and like he bought that figure from me and stuff, and then like later on, I ended up finding out that he was actually Recycled Galaxy. And I was like, oh my God, I had no idea like the whole time. But yeah, I love his stuff. Like Dead Greedy, General Porpoise, Astro Plastics. I love their stuff. That's awesome. I mean, there's so many of them. Like everybody inspires me to do other stuff. And I mean, I hate to like try to narrow it down to one person or even 10 people, because there's so many great artists that I love their stuff.
Yeah.
Nicole, how about yourself?
I like Dead Greedy and After Plastics. There's too many, I can't even like narrow them down. In like there's just too many.
I feel it. Sometimes you're just scrolling through IG, waiting, or Facebook to see that image that screams at you that you need it. You're not even sure who made it at that moment.
Yeah,
who's that? Spooky something? Vintage Spooky?
Vintage Spooky,
we just kind of stumbled upon that. There's like Shogun Warrior looking figures that he's making. They're awesome.
I haven't seen that one. I don't think so.
I think he usually makes like stickers and stuff, doesn't he? But he just recently like came out with some like smaller style like Shogun Warriors that almost like have like a Skeletor kind of look to some of them.
Spooky.
I saw the look on Crumb's face. It looks like a good one.
No, you guys are dropping a lot of accounts.
Yeah, you mentioned Dead Greedy too. Dead Greedy, that's Dead Greedy's been around for a long time, man. I recently saw some Dead Greedy pieces that popped up in the DKE shop. It looks like he's circling back on some of them.
Yeah, They Live, Greedo, and like
that one, and then
Greedo, or the Micronauts crossovers and stuff. Yeah, I love those figures.
Yeah, the Samuel L. Jackson Jedi is the one that I wanted to snag. The baddest Jedi in the MF and universe, man. I love that.
The Sucklord crossovers that he did here recently were hilarious too.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about those. Yeah, Dead Greedy, man. That's a great account. Been around a long time.
Sucklord, I can't believe I forgot Sucklord. Killer Bootlegs, Dollar Slice Bootlegs, like those are like all the OGs. Like I love all their stuff too. Like there, like you said, there's so many of them. It's hard to like name all of them. But Resin Blood, yeah.
Resin Blood, love them.
You almost have to go over to your IG page, open up the accounts you're following, and just list it off. My bad, man. I'm looking at your Rhodian X-Wings right now. Out of curiosity, with the heads and the hands on those, like, are you painting those, man?
The green ones, I just cut them off of vintage figures and then glued them onto the other bodies. And whenever I get the bodies, they're usually like the paint's completely wore off, so I have to like redo all the paint on that. But the blue ones, the only thing I paint are the eyes. Like it's blue resin.
Oh snap! Those are also very, very cool. Sorry. I'll admit, there's a lot about your process that is like kind of hard because you're doing 3D printing, kit bash, customs. Like you're mixing it all together, man. There is a lot going on there, and then you're still repainting, like from like you just said, like the ground up. Even when you are doing like custom kit bash, you're painting a good chunk of it all the way up.
Because most of the figures that I get that are like the vintage figures I use the kit bash, like I don't want to have to spend a bunch of money on them, so I buy them like completely trashed, you know what I mean? And I don't want to like destroy a mint condition vintage figure either, you know what I mean? Because there have been a few figures where I needed parts and I cut up some mint like vintage Star Wars figures. I'm sure people are probably going to be like, I can't believe he did that. But I hated doing it. But at the time I wanted to make that figure and it was the only figure I had to use for parts. So I was like, I'm going to do it.
Every now and then you just got to play off that World of Warcraft, like that for the Horde. That's just the answer sometimes, man. For the Horde. It just has to happen. B, do you have anything?
Yes.
There?
I'm sorry. Did you ask me something? I was this damn chat, dude. I swear I just want to turn it off sometimes, but you can't. Sometimes it's like a car accident, man. It's like you're like, I'm not gonna look at that. And then you end up reading, you're like, wait, what the hell did they just say? Man.
Yeah, what was it I saw earlier? You posted the picture of that the forearm guy, and I think it was Will Burchard. He said something about that's like the forehand what did he say? The forehand job guy or something like that. I can't remember what it was. I was like, I just like
no. So you're saying Jazz Wizard said something like that? I don't believe it. Jazzy wouldn't say anything like that.
That being said, though, Jazz also ended up sharing your guys' work beforehand because I'm sure he ends up actually liking your figures a lot as well because he's a huge Star Wars nerd.
Yeah, he's bought a lot of stuff from us. Like, he's awesome.
Where did you guys end up getting the ideas to do, like, I know B's got that random King Bob one. What leads to those kind of pieces?
The Minion.
Yeah.
It was a yellow figure, and I found a pair of Minion eyes in the bottom of a quarter bin at a thrift store, and I'm like, I've got that yellow snow trooper. I'm like, I'm gonna put those Minion eyes on the yellow snow trooper and make a Minion snow trooper out of it.
Nice.
A lot of stuff just comes as I like find parts and pieces when I'm out hunting for stuff.
Yellow snow trooper, man, you were onto something, like a reverse Uze.
Yeah.
Right? Yellow with the blue detail. There you go. I'm looking for it.
I'd actually thought about painting like blue overalls on it to really make it look like
yeah, there you go.
I was running out of time, so I just put the blue cape on him and tried to play it off with that.
Clean, super clean. Pocket Salsa says the real questions are, and we can turn these into real questions, why not? Where do you stand on Fig Newtons, number one? And number two, where do you stand on the band Rush? And I'm sure the one for the band Rush, that probably came from Jazz Wizard. Speaking of Will.
Fig Newtons, you can eat them in bed because they don't have crumbs. And, they're
great point.
They're fruit and cake. Yeah. And
for the record, crumbs is great in bed. I would just like to put that out there.
I can get down with some Rush.
Crumbs.
The Rush. Please, Nicole, don't let him listen to Rush, man. Please don't say that you're a Rush fan. There can't be two of you. The 5 kids need to have at least one that does not rock Rush.
I think, was it Rush we were listening to the other day that I had to tell you that it wasn't a girl singing it? Was that Rush?
Same thing.
That sounds about right. Is there anything that you guys would maybe want to let us know? I know we've held you hostage here for about an hour. Is there anything else that you guys would maybe want to let us know or fill us in before we let you go? I know you have a drop tomorrow. Am I crazy? Monday.
Monday evening.
Yeah.
There we go. Monday evening.
I do have a bunch of snow troopers coming up in the next week, and I usually sell them for like $35. But over the next week, if anybody wants one and they mention this episode, I guess I'll give them like a discount and sell them for $30 a piece. Just make sure when you message me, you let me know that you heard about it on here and
On Toyz Live.
on Toyz Live. And for the next week, I'll give a discount to like $30 a piece for them. Also, I don't know how you guys do your giveaways. I'll be honest, I've never watched a complete episode. I've always just fast forward.
They're long.
I fast forward through to the toys so I can see all the toys and like kind of I watch some of it, but I fast forward through a lot of it because honestly I'm usually in bed by right now because I got to be up at work at 5 o'clock in the morning and it's 10:30. But
100%, man. Not many people
I
have
don't know how
6
you guys do your
hours.
giveaways, but I was wanting to give this figure away. If you guys want to give it away and then just let me know who to send it to, I will mail it out to them.
Awesome. That's dope, man. You posted one of those recently, right? Like within the last day or two?
Yep.
Nice. Was it that one?
Yep, it's that one right there.
Nice. Very nice. I saw it.
If you guys would like, you can even hang on for on the line here for a moment longer. We can even actually do the giveaway while you're here if you'd like. We can pop it onto the wheel.
Sounds good.
Groovy. So if you guys are just joining in, please chime into the chat there. We can throw you onto the wheel. Plastic Vomit Customs is kind enough to throw in that lovely little giveaway that they just ended up showing up there. So we'll throw you on the wheel if you'd like that. If you haven't chimed in yet. Western Goods, what is up? Thank you for chiming in. Boom. Make this a little bigger. Boom. Boom. And I wanted to make sure we touch on this because you did just mention that the figures you're going to offer a discount, but your pricing in general, guys, is insane. I meant to mention that earlier anyways.
We've actually talked about, we wanted to like make sure that we could make stuff where we could make a lot of it and sell it at a decent price. Cause I know that when Nicole was making the My Little Ponies, like they were literally like art pieces and they took a lot of time to make. And then like, it was hard for her, I know, to compensate for the amount of time she had to put into it. So whenever we first started making these, that was like something we had talked about to like make sure that we could make stuff where it was definitely worth it for us, but we could sell them for cheap enough to where we could sell a lot of them too. Because we didn't want to like outprice a lot of people to where only people who had a lot of money could buy our figures. So we try to like make sure that our figures are even when we're buying, like when I'm looking for parts and stuff to buy, I'm buying vintage figures. I try to make sure that I get them at like a super cheap price. So that way I can price them out cheap and it's still, I can compensate myself for my time that I'm putting into it. And yeah, that's like kind of a business model that we've went by.
Well, you have to. When you have 5 kids, man, there's got to be a reason that you're spending this much time, energy doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you seem to have found a sweet spot. Like, damn, man, 35 for a lot of your figures, plus the 5 US shipping or 10 shipping, and then international pays shipping. Yeah,
it's $5 shipping no matter how many figures you buy. Like if you bought 100 figures, it's $5 to ship them. So, and we actually have a lot of people that do like a build a box, we call it, where they will buy stuff as they buy it. We'll like build up a box for them, and then when they're ready, like they can have like 15 figures that they bought over the past 4 months, and then we'll wait that way to save them on shipping, especially with international international people. Like a lot of them take advantage of it because they're paying $15 to $20 every time, so they don't want to have to pay that every time they buy a figure. So a lot of those guys will like wait until they have 5, 6, 10 figures or whatever, and then just ship it all at once. So we try to do that to help save our customers some money in shipping.
Damn, dude.
Nice.
Not many artists do that because it can become quite a headache to try and keep track
like
of.
we have a big pile of boxes with people's names on them that we gotta like keep track of, basically.
That's a sick way of doing it, though, man. Do you find it like, are you able to get a flat rate, or do you guys just eat that?
With the $5 shipping,
Yeah.
$5 shipping for like people in the United States, and we basically eat any extra cost because if they're buying that many figures anyways, like it's only going to go up like a quarter per figure anyway, so it's not like a huge like extra cost. So we figure if they're spending $40 on a figure, we can eat the extra 25 cents to like put it in the box, you know what I mean? Because like I think for a first class package, it costs about $5. As long as it's under a pound, it only costs $5. But then like after it goes up like over that pound, it like per figure, it's less than like $1 per figure. I don't know exactly how much that is. It might be like 50 cents at the most per figure, but so we basically just make it $5, and that's like less of a headache for us to have to constantly be looking up what the shipping costs are. It's like actually saves us time, which we need.
Yeah, time, man. I think we all need a little bit more time.
Right.
Only.
I'll just say, man, so just to repeat that again, if over the next week, if you guys are wanting something from Plastic Vomit, oh, nice. Street Fight.
Cool.
Very nice. PDX going up to Portland.
Yeah, either if they can either message us or message you, and you message us with their shipping info, and we'll get that out to them. But yeah, as far as like the discount on the Snow Trooper figures, that'll be for like till the end of this week and through next week. So
gotcha.
The next 10 days, I guess.
What I was gonna say about those, man, and just all your figures in general, dude, like I seriously think that $35 is an absolute steal for these. We always talk about quality and value, and just kind of what that looks like. I can tell you that from a collector standpoint, I've never been disappointed with one of your pieces. The price, the quality, it's phenomenal. And it's not just on these, it's on these, it's on these, it's on this, it's really on everything.
That Akbar pilot, like that was one of my like earliest figures that I'd ever made.
And it's so clean. It's so clean, man. And you know, the paint is just as good as it is now, man. So you've been doing this killer work for a long time, but you know, $35 going down to 30, even if there was no discount at $35, $5 flat rate shipping. Man, that is a home run all around, man. Congrats on all this stuff. You guys are killing it, man. You like Crumb said, I think you guys really found a groove as far as quality, variety, and price. God, dude, great work all around.
Thank you for always promoting us. We really appreciate it.
It's easy to promote, man. Easy stuff to promote.
When we came on to Instagram, like you guys made a big difference in like our following on Instagram for sure. And like we've always appreciated that.
Honestly, man, it's mind-blowing that more people aren't following your account. You guys have a very, very sick account. Like, but especially if you consider like even just the differences between your work, it creates a huge portfolio of work on there. It top notch, absolutely. Do you mind if I bug you one more time to just show the Velvet Reaper that you've offered to send out there today, just so they can see what they end up getting there again?
Nice.
Clean, man. Super, super clean.
Yeah, and like actually light comes in through the back of his head and like lights his eyes up if you hold it up to the light.
Nice.
That's dope as hell. That's also a sick like kit bash, man. I don't think I've ever seen that Imagine Next skeleton head used on.
It was like a mail away figure or something like that. So they're like actually kind of hard to find. That's why this figure, I love to make it, and I think it's really cool. But that's why I want. Like, if you look back through my thing, I think I made it like 3 or 4 times. It's because I can't find that head. Like occasionally find it at like a thrift store or something, and you can get them on eBay and stuff. But because it's like a mail away, people want like $15 for that figure, and I just can't pay $15 for a head. You know what I mean?
I
So
totally
it's just
feel
basically,
that.
I make it whenever I can find that head somewhere for like a quarter.
Well, it's a good one, man. Definitely. Very original, too. Guys, thank you very, very much for coming in tonight. We really, really appreciate you guys coming in, for answering all of our questions. Definitely that drop on Monday. Yeah, try to have a good rest of the evening. I really appreciate you guys coming in. I'm going to do a weird, rude remove. It's coming. I'm sorry. They were just so nice. I had to at least give some warning, man.
Yeah, I know. I was wondering where you're going to go with that. Like, hold on, man. These are nice people now.
These are nice people now. Don't post them out of here.
How are we going to turn them off? But, dude, what's up, E2K? What's up, Dustin? He says that these people are these two are the absolute best. Agree, dude. What a great team.
So much going on. So much going on.
Yeah, there really is, man. You have the individual accounts, you have the crazy good. I mean, shoot, dude, we could even start with the story of how they met, dude. Like meeting somebody in the toy scene.
All of it. Meeting somebody else in the toy scene that's doing customizations, the story of how they ended up coming together because of and selling their customs to be able to pay for the flight tickets to be able to do that. The fact that both of them, one was basically looking for and collecting My Little Pony stuff because their daughter was doing it. The one looking for stuff to do with his kids during COVID when they're all laying off. Dude,
that meeting story, that's what dreams are made of, dude. You know what I mean? For toy guys like us, that's what dreams are made of, man.
Oh,
that's
meeting someone.
What a great story. Yeah, right. Let's start there. Holy smoke. Anyways, and then they have to be right, and then you kind of got to swindle them into this whole thing that we're into. But that's awesome, man. That deal that they're running, $35. I'm sorry,
already so low, and then
dude, I'm not bullshit, man. I know that we always talk about quality and stuff like that, and you know that feeling that sometimes when you buy something that you think is kind of on the edge of the pricing scale, whatever you think that is, and you think that hey, I stretched a little bit on this one, I really hope it's good, and then you get it and you're like, it's maybe not so much. These ones, dude, I swear to God, every time I get them, I'm just like, son of a bitch, man, $35 for that, dude. Killer.
I'm trying to find the right wording for it. It's such a nice combination of aesthetic and creative, and then there's a lot of it's seemingly a lot of knowledge about Star Wars. Maybe it's just mashing things together that look really fucking dope. But
yeah,
damn, dude.
The paint work, dude, is super, super crisp. I mean, some of the points on here that are, he was saying that he had a brush with only 3 bristles on it. I believe it, man, because some of these spots are so small, and they're crisp as hell.
Dude, I think I would lose my mind doing those droids that she just did.
The freehand. I'm glad you said, hey, was that freehand? And not only that,
had to fucking know, because we all thought that was a whitewash months ago when we first saw those. No.
And freehand, but freehand 3 times.
Yeah. Death and Strawberries, synergistic. Yes. Very good way of putting it, man. Synergistic. That's a really good way of putting it. You know what? We didn't get a chance to really do this when they were on, and it's mainly, I think, a little bit because nobody really wants to just look at their stuff the whole time that they're trying to chat to you. But man, I don't. Okay, so this obviously is what we were chatting about. These are actually going up on eBay this evening. The link will be there, but I believe these are up on eBay now. Mm-hmm. And then this is the Reaper that was just going out there. This is going out to Street Fight SPDX.
Mm-hmm. Dope.
But dude, we've what's tripping to me is, this guy here. Oh,
I know, dude. So good.
And I almost feel bad just focusing on the Star Wars stuff, because we were even kind of saying it tonight. Like, we know that they don't just do the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
There's just so much good Star Wars stuff that it's hard
exactly,
not to.
man. So good.
But like, Marvel Star Wars mashup, Nicole, solid. Like,
I actually have that blue.
dude.
I have that blue Greedo fighter. Oh my lord. Okay, I've never seen that before.
Spaceman Greedo.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Sorry.
Dude, okay, check out the okay, that the one with the wings. Yes. Dang it, dude. I wish I would have freaking asked him about that, dude. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's filthy.
Ugh. God dang it, that's good.
Somebody, Spank will know this because I know he's a big fan of this. Is that UK? Is this Action Force 2? Like all red G.I. Joe ripoff looking line?
You know what it looks like to me, brother?
Well, Phantom Star Killer's figure is based off of that Kit Bash as well.
Also, Pamro Necro Hunter uses that torso.
Snappies.
Yeah.
Well, that's a sick face on there. You know,
yeah.
Dude, even the fact that like some of it's resin, some of it's paint, like it makes it very difficult. Not that it matters. Like I would imagine these resins, but it does kind of make it tough on the brain to know, like, you know.
So exactly, dude, and this is exactly what I was talking about. If you go back to his, so if you just scroll up just like two lines, go one more. One more. Okay, so right here with the orange and then the teal and then the disco one on the right that we looked at. That's what I was talking about when these come out kind of at the same time. I remember all those came out and I remember hitting them up. I'm like, hey, is this one available? What else do you have available? And one of those and one of those. And then you end up getting them. And that display that I have is going to be super sick, dude. But they look together. The gloss on them is amazing. The functionality, man. So 4 points of articulation on the Snow Trooper. And it's nice and tight, dude. Like it's not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it stays right where you put it. And that's a good, there's a good shot of kind of like that kickstand action that we were talking about, where it's a kickstand. It's a kickstand that doesn't need one. Yeah. You know, it's a perfect length freaking kickstand.
Dude.
I missed on that, dude. What? It makes so much sense now, right? I remember seeing that and just being like, huh, that's random.
I love this combination too. I know you already been saying, but okay, now also too, take that in consideration. If this is what that body would typically look like, that he's saying he's getting some chewed up bodies, and he's doing up this much of a paint app on there.
I bought one of those too, man. Those are great.
So that's a sick one.
Yeah,
man. The blue Rhodians, yeah, that's a sick one.
See, and 35 for that, man. 35. Yeah,
Icy Kenobi. And so, I mean, imagine if you were somebody who just collects like Kenner figures you've never seen, besides like vintage bootlegs before, but you've never seen like Arm Realm. Imagine stumbling on their page and how mind blowing you'd be like, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
And then every time that you get excited by all the colors and all the like combos you haven't seen, then you all of a sudden go, well, I don't have a friggin' Icy Kenobi. And then you get bombarded with cool colors, and then you're like, oh, well, I don't have an Icy Tusken Raider. You know what I mean? Like, there's a nice breakup of like color, ice, color, ice. So there's always something that's going to appeal to somebody on here.
Absolutely, dude. And they look great. They look great together in a display. Look at that Cobra Commander. That Cobra Commander Vader. That is, look at that.
Wait, you turning G.I. Joe on us?
You know I love G.I. Joe. You know I love G.I. Joe, and you know I collect the hell out of vinyl. That's the two things you should know about me by now. But they're amazing, dude. Great pieces. Super cool people, man. Thank you for coming on. That was awesome.
Were you blown away by the sizes of runs they're doing? I couldn't have conceived the size of the runs.
Well, and you know what's really cool, dude, is that Jason was saying that on the Snow Troopers, that's kind of like his bread and butter, man. He can always go back to it. But what's very cool about that is, we always talk about people that kind of have like their signature piece or whatever. For him, I would say it's the Snow Trooper because he can always dip back into it and he knows it's going to sell. It sells every single time. But yeah, dude, smaller runs. There's some one-offs. There's some, runs of 5, and they're just, dude, they sell, man. They sell. What a cool little side hustle.
And then Nicole was saying that some of her runs are like drops of 50. Like
yeah, right?
And then we'll do 3 runs of the Boba Fett's of 50 a piece.
And
That's
selling
150 ice Bobas.
Selling out.
Oh. Dang.
Selling out.
Man. Well, and again, like we've nailed it a couple times, and I hope that the margins are proper for them to actually be doing it, but like that's an insane price point. 35 for that fig. Any other fig.
There's no way you're gonna feel disgruntled over that purchase, man. That is a surefire home run every time. Dude, the 3.75 Jawa, which it kind of hit me while he was saying that, is I have a Jawa in probably 4 different sizes now. There's another one, and the name is leaving me right now, man. He's actually up here in the Chico area, but he makes the large 3D printed magnetic articulation Star Wars figures, and I have a Jawa that's like probably, I don't know, like 10 inches. It's fucking huge, dude. It's great. Anyways, man, yeah, dude, that was a good one, man. Plastic Vomit Customs, check them out ASAP. My Little Fluffle, check out that one as well. That's Nicole's account.
We almost have to have like a at some point we have to have like some kind of a weird night where all the guests that we've ever had all come in at the same time, and they all start asking each other whack-ass questions, and we just sit there like flies on the wall.
Yeah, or then maybe they just bombard us with questions, like dumb questions that we've asked them, and they throw them right back on us, and we're just like, I don't know.
I did feel a little bad when you slammed them with, how do you feel about the whole Stan Solo shit?
Bro, first of all, Western Goods, what is up, my homie Western Goods, brother? We have some, we need to chat on another subject, my dude, but yeah, man. Stan Solo, bro, I'll be straight up, like, anybody who kicks anybody out of another group because they're not cool with somebody else, like, come on, bro, what are we doing here? Let's think about how we're choosing to spend our time. I don't collect Stan Solo pieces. I don't have any Stan Solo pieces. The thing that really turned me off about Stan Solo, dude, is probably what everybody else is saying, is just the drama on that page. You come across these posts that are just paragraph after paragraph of, and not knowing what the original beef was, jumping into it this late. It makes no sense to me. I don't know who these people are. I don't know where this factory is. I don't know who had contracts with who. But the fact that there's so much drama around it, like, bro, I get it. Like, the pieces are dope and he makes really good stuff. I would just as well get Plastic Vomit stuff all day for $35 and deal with great people and give my money to people like that who just want to stay away from that other shit, because I think we all do too.
I've got nothing against any of those accounts of that size. You and I have talked about this before, and I get this too, because there's even homies of mine that one day will probably be like, fuck you, Crumbs. I'm a bit of a weirdo, but way back in the day, we get into the toy scene, and where does the algorithm throw you? It throws you towards all the huge accounts, right? So if anybody's doing this bootleg stuff, you're going to be seeing the Stan Solos, the Has No Talents, all those guys. And the reality is that every time that you're missing one of those drops, and then you see somebody else who has every single one of those drops, and you realize, I don't deserve to stand in the way of somebody who has a completionist that has every single one of your pieces and is collecting you from the beginning. I'll go and find some other artists who don't have people basically banging down their door to buy their pieces, and I'm going to try and support those artists. And that's where I think we even kind of started a lot of the times, a lot of us collectors, trying to find those accounts of smaller sizes to kind of be like, well, who are those guys making really rad toys that aren't completely blown up. Death and Strawberries, yes, you are absolutely right. I was at the very beginning of the episode, and you guys don't know how much it kills me. The moment they even mentioned they have 5 kids, I was like, well, I'll try not to hit, but there was one point I knew. I was like, dude, you know you've got a problem when you're sitting here and you're like, fuck it. Start packing away.
Well, that's what was funny, dude. They started talking about kids, and you're just like, I think just the thought of kids in the same house as you is so stressful and annoying that you're just like, hold on, man, let me get my fucking brain right so I can just process what you're saying right now. But dude, I think that kind of goes back right to what we were talking about, this kind of being a spare time thing, and it is a spare time thing for them, and they're absolutely killing it. There's 5 kids in that house. He's a pipe fitter, dude. Like, I know people were kind of laughing just about the word pipe fitter, and but the pipe fitters union, man, dude, that is no joke, bro. I know guys that are in the pipe fitters union. I used to work next door to the pipe fitters union here in town, and that's an honest day's work right there, man.
The guys are kind of joking about the smoke thing. Mark Heelis one time he reached out to me way back in the day, and he said, hey, I was up watching YouTube with my kid, because that's what we do in the mornings, and your show popped up, and he thinks you're hilarious. The reality is that is enough for me to know that there's certain times things kind of stay a little off camera, because 1, yeah, it could just pop up. 2, if you want to go share this with your mom or your friends or your coworkers or somebody that you think it's just neat that you were actually being asked about your art, they really don't need to see some stupid mustached guy getting high in the background. You know what I mean?
Mustached guy.
Dude, we've talked about anytime any of my homies want to do something back in, like, even, let's say for the last, like, decade, if they go do something real stupid and you're like, I can't. Look at this. You don't walk around with these stupid things and a mustache and get away with shit. You are a pretty distinct individual at that point.
I wanted to say one thing not regarding that. We still have a healthy amount of show left, man. We got unboxings. We're gonna look at we're gonna look at the E2K show.
Yes.
And this thing has been staring at me since we got in here. The Uncle Spank hot sauce. I'm definitely gonna try some of that. I'll tell you right now, it looks like pure hell. It looks delicious, but I'll tell you what, man, I've had enough salsa to know the color of hot, and that's the color of hot. So that'll be fun. Cool little pieces on there too, man. I believe he casted those.
I've got to say, it's hilarious to me that isn't it just so fucking bootleg that for some reason there's hot sauce with our logo on it that we did not make. Isn't that bootleg as fuck?
Literally had nothing to do with this except for you put this logo together in. I honestly, dude, I think we were talking about a logo and you're just like, I don't know, something like this, just to kind of put it up there. It's like, and here we are 60 weeks later and it's like, oh, you mean that one? Yeah, that's the one. Which is funny, dude, right? Because I don't want to talk about the whole Toyz on Tap interview, but on Toyz on Tap interview, I said, yeah, any swag that you see that's out there right now for us, stickers, t-shirts, we had nothing to do with any of that at all. At all. We didn't pay for any of it. We didn't pay people to do it. It's
almost like a bootleg on top of a bootleg too, because if anybody blows up our logo large enough, they'll see that it's watermarked. That zombie is watermarked.
Yeah, it is. And I remember telling Bliss that, and he was like, let me see what I can do. And I'm looking at it now, and he either shrunk it so much or I can't even tell what it is anymore, but he did a great job. Spank says, no, he did not cast these. These are just cake toppers, actually, which is still very cool. Speaking of stickers, man, I'll just say it real quick, dude. I actually did something on the stickers. And
glow in the dark UV?
No, but that's an option. But I will say this is that we have 2 variations of stickers. I signed off yeah, I signed off on the the mock-up today. So, and actually, thank you, Hurt Toys. I was having a conversation with him, and I said, dude, it's just one of those things that I got to do. I'm sure it's easy. And he goes, oh, let's fucking do it right now. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, boop. You like it? Yes, I do. Order. Ding. That's how that goes. So those will be here before too long. So where you want to jump in, man? We could do hot sauce. We could do opens.
E2K. We make a killing off of our bootleg Toys Alive merch. I'm sure you guys do, man. I hope you guys are having a blast there tonight, dude. I did end up chiming into that live that you were sitting there with Mr. Scott Cherry. That's always a pleasure. You guys do a great job at actually going through and making sure that you're actually showcasing all the work. It's fun, man. B, you want to tear into some boxes, homie? You've been sitting there. So
let's turn to some boxes, dude. I'm kind of anxious about this salsa, so yeah, I think I might start there. Yeah, we're just gonna take a little taste. And what'll be funny is if it's so hot, I can't feel my mouth for the unboxing, so that'll be interesting. Again, Uncle Spank, dude. Uncle Spank, if you could let everybody know if there's any more that's available or how that's being distributed, if it's for sale. What you put in it, I know was something you and I were talking about. And when you started to list them off, I was kind of thinking to myself, shit, is kind of what I was thinking. Here we go. It smells amazing. It smells amazing. I'm trying to give you a good idea of what this would taste like or what it would smell like. Man, that smells good. I'm not sure. Spank, let us know. So we're just gonna put some on a spoon right now, and then we're gonna talk about a new chip that I got, or that I just saw in my cupboard. I don't know how it got there, but we got some new chips to try with these, which are really good. So here we go. Oh. Look at that, bro. Oh, that's hot. That's hot, bro. That's hot, man. Now, I don't know if you saw, I did not even do the spoonful. I dropped some on my computer and then that was it. That shit's hot, man. This is gonna hurt. I'm not a big milk drinker. A lot of people say that you can drink dairy or eat dairy after hot stuff and it kind of soothes it. Not a big milk guy. So here we go. Yeah.
Now, some of you might have remembered in our stories the other day when I posted that hot sauce, it is hot sauce flavored lube. So, of course, I'll be applying mine somewhere different, but because of the relationship that B and I have, that's why he's tasting it right now. So you guys put together with that what you'd like.
That's hot.
Oh, it's hot, baby.
Let's talk about the chips that I got here. So these are wavy Lays, right? But they're Funyun flavored wavy Lays. Funyun flavored wavy Lays. Amazing. Uncle Spank. That is some hot shit, bro. The flavor on that is extremely good, man. But that's hot. That's, you know what it would be, man? That's great if you if anybody's into burritos or Mexican food. This would be amazing on a burrito. 100%. Or taco.
Suki wants to know, Suki wants to know what the flavor profile is like. Hot.
It smells amazing, and it tastes very, very good. I'm not gonna lie, it's hot, bro. Thank you, Uncle Spank. This stuff is very good. I know that a lot of people got this, or not a lot, but I think he had like a dozen or maybe 2 dozen, something like that. Maybe something in the middle. And I think they were all gone. He said he only had a couple bottles left. So if you're looking for some of that, if you're looking for some of that, pocket salsa. That's probably very, very, very true. Hit up Uncle Spank if you're looking for some of that. It's amazing, dude. It's very good. It is. If you like hot sauce, that is hot sauce.
What a fucking episode tonight, man.
Dude.
How you feeling over there?
My mouth is hot, bro. I'll be honest with you, man. My mouth is hot right now. It's good, man. Good stuff. You want to open some stuff up?
Yeah, we can open some stuff up for sure. Not to probe whatsoever. Don't feel weird if we're done and should I keep the wheel loaded up?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Great. So we have the E2K gift card, which is coming again. And actually, Dustin, I owe you a name from last week, which is actually Pocket Salsa. Speaking of hot stuff. And dude, since we have so many plastic vomit pieces to give away, why don't we give away 2 more? Let's give away 2 more plastic vomit pieces tonight.
You sure?
Yeah, because you know what, dude? They donated quite a few. Let's do this, man. Let's do a Proto Trooper. We'll do one of those. All right. And then we'll also do this one. We'll also do the teal and silver. We'll do that one too. So that salsa is really good, Spank. It really is, man. It's not a heat that is going to hang around and bother your mouth constantly. It's just, you just really have a really nice flavor. And I know he used so many different freaking peppers in those. Really good.
In the next 5 minutes, B's face is just going to become more and more cherry red as he slowly starts getting involuntary burps from the hot sauce trying to come back up.
Dude. I honestly, dude, right when I tasted it, the first thing that went through my head was, this was a mistake. This was a mistake to do this in front of everybody. It's good, man. It's really good. I'm going to sweat all over the new figures. Yeah.
Uncle Space, I want to double check with you, man, because please don't feel like you have to hop on that. But if you'd like, just say one more time. And apparently I'm Crumpy.
Crumpy. That's what you can be when you're upset. You're crumpy.
Oh, jeez.
Why are you being crumpy?
Dude, I shit you not. Last night, man, I was telling you, I was hanging up curtains, right? Last night I just wanted them up. It must have fallen off 4 fucking times, man. You'd get the bar up there, you'd get the curtains on there, you'd go to hang it, and then all of a sudden you're trying to get the one side lined up, and it just fucking whole thing comes crashing down. Oh.
It looked good.
I ended up going and got another one. Now they're secured. I told you earlier, I went in mayhem mode. So the reality is that because of the cement, okay, he says, yeah, let's give a bottle away. So we're going to be giving away that bottle of that sauce that Beat of the Day was just losing his mind over there. I'm going to open up this wheel. Street Fight SPDX, I want to make sure that we do congratulate you again for that lovely friggin' giveaway that was donated by Plastic Vomit Customs. That was sick as hell of them. Will Crumbs put the sauce on a sandwich? I only eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, man. Sometimes peanut butter. And even then, only toast. I am that weird about my bread. I toast my bread. And I don't know where it came from. I think it's from that weird meme of that movie of that guy smushing the bread together on a piece of CD. But I started doing that randomly recently too. I don't know when it started, but I'll toast my toast, put peanut butter on it, squish them together, and then I literally just smash it into the plate as hard as I can. So it's just 2 flat pieces of bread with peanut butter in the middle. I don't know why.
What an incredible breakdown on a peanut butter sandwich, dude. Holy smokes. You have some very specific rituals, I would say, at this point with that sandwich. That's awesome, man. What are we giving away right now? What are we doing?
I think right now we're giving away a bottle of Uncle Spank's Spank Your Lips Off hot sauce.
There you go, man.
SPDX. That is what is up, homie. The Karma Wheel knows. That is sick as hell. So make sure to shoot either us or Plastic Vomit your address, and we will make sure to either pass that over to them, or they will make sure to get that over to you.
You know what, man? And actually, Street Fight, I just sent him something, a giveaway that he won recently. And I have your address. I should have it memorized by now because you've been a repeat winner. I will send that to Plastic Vomit on your behalf and let them know where to send it. So, congratulations and happy freaking birthday, man.
Who else's birthday is it today, actually? Junkfed. Junkfed's real name is... You're going to know this one probably before me, unfortunately. Junkfed... Do you remember his real? Ryan Miro, what is up?
Oh. Todd. Is it Todd?
No.
Scott.
I only know one Toddles, and that's Junkfed. I'm thinking,
is
did I
that
say
you?
Junkfed? Oh, shoot, not Junkfed. Oh, frick me. Why can't I get it right now?
That was so funny.
Yeah, Death and Strawberries, you're right. Yeah, Bliss Receptor, you're right.
No,
Guys, wrong one.
Todd and it's Junkfed.
Fuck. Yeah, of course, man. All right. Well, I'm gonna spin this for that hot sauce while my brain.
Okay.
Oh, Sadat, what is up, dude? My bad. Sorry about that, homie. King
Oh,
Spider
perfect.
Toys.
Sadat just had his birthday and he just got his piece that he won here on the show. Congrats, dude, and happy birthday.
Oh.
Folklore said his name is Junkathy Fetterstein. Junkathy.
Well, that doesn't work. Sorry, Uncle Stank.
Bro, that you talk about Karma Wheel. That's the Karma Wheel saying, yeah, all right, now I'm coming to get you, buddy. I'm sure he eats this stuff like candy now. Hey!
There we go. Death and
Okay.
Strawberries. Getting some hot sauce. Oh, and then I'm going to make sure to put Suki. I'll put you back on the wheel there for any of the Plastic Vomit ones that come afterwards. Oops, that's that. Boom, boom. Congratulations over there to Death and Strawberries. That's what's up. Oh, yeah. Now it's going to drive me insane. Ex-military vet, huge killer bootleg collector. His artist account is like... Oh, fuck me, man. Please. Anyways.
What are you talking about?
I'm still trying to figure out whose birthday it was.
Oh, okay.
Just in my own little world here. Just naming people off. Well, I feel like a douche, man. He's almost here, like, he's here quite often. He actually went through a huge move recently. And I know that we both are aware of Junk the Dragon.
Oh.
There we go.
Yes.
Yeah. His birthday today as well.
Is that Casually Narcissistic?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
There we go. We got there.
Yeah, shoot, man. You know what, man? I need to follow up with him. I know that there was a point where he was looking for
He was moving.
Yes, he was moving. That's what it was. Correct.
Huge move.
Yeah, Junk the Dragon, man. He was regular here for a minute. I haven't seen him in a while. So if you know Junk the Dragon, reach out, say what's up. I certainly will.
Send him a happy birthday wish.
Wolfman Toyz, Fletch said. Wolfman Toyz, yeah, that's another good account. That's not who we were talking about, but yeah, very good.
Maybe he's having a birthday too.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to open up a box? Show me your box.
Yes, I have it right in front of me, man. So a new artist for us here on the show. My first piece by him. I don't know if you have any pieces or not. This is from It's Matt.
Yeah, we've looked at their account, but I noticed that this is a first grab.
Yeah, very cool, man. And the piece is large. It's, here's them up next to a 3.75. So it's a larger piece. The pour on this is sick, man. I'm looking at you see all the orange and purple kind of fade there. Backpack. Lots of really cool colors here in the head. Static piece, but weighty, heavy piece, man. Oh my goodness. So, and this is exactly why I bought this, dude. Sometimes I'm so dumb. It's like oh, this is a cool piece. And then anyways, man, this has a UV reactive glow like swirl going through it, which I'm doing an absolute horrible job of showing right now. But I'll do some pictures on this one in the next few days. It's got an insane, wow, man, that is awesome. There's a swirl, like a glow swirl going from like his brain all the way down through his torso and into his leg here.
It's really lighting up the head, man. Like that light the head is glowing right now. And you can tell that it then spirals up into it like a tornado almost.
Yes. Yeah, exactly, dude. It spirals up into it like a tornado. That's exactly right, dude. And that's what I'm tripping off of right now is that it's almost like a ribbon of glow in there.
But
God
his
dang,
head,
cool.
it looks like almost like a light in his head.
And a tornado, dude. You're right, man. It looks like a ribbon that goes up into a tornado in his head, dude. Holy shit. Great work, dude.
Cool sculpt too, man. I'm loving that backpack
Yeah.
and the ball cap. That's gotta make
yeah.
it feel like that's gotta feel like almost like you 90s as a kid. Like, you know what I mean? That's gotta have like that like nostalgic like, dude, that's 95, man.
Dude, with it's funny, man. Western Goods is in here. Western Goods, man. There's a lot of times where him and I were, down in Berkeley, digging through record crates at either Amoeba Records or Rasputin Records. And I'd say that we probably both looked a lot like this, man. Jeans, backpack, and a hat.
I even love the pour on that backpack, man. Being just like that nice milky white.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. And it's got a lot of glitter in there too, man. You can't see it in here, but it does have a lot of glitter on it. Dude, that ribbon, that tornado is just, god dang it, man. I wish you guys could see that. I'm going to try my best to take some really good pictures of that, but that is phenomenal, dude. What a great piece. It's a matte. And you know what, dude? I'm thinking that this is probably going to be 3D printed as well because, or you know what? I could be wrong. I do see some fingerprint stuff on here. Like we were talking about earlier, but that could be just a fingerprint that's in the gloss coating on it. I'm not sure, but sick.
What I find is tough too is like right now, like if you were going to Etsy or something like and look at some molds, some of the molds will have a figure beside it, and even the figure beside it looks like it's got some of those resin layer lines. Dre says the piece is it's matte. I'll grab the link for it right now. It's hard to almost say it out loud without it seeming like we don't know who we're saying.
Right, exactly. It's Matt. You're like, you can remember his name there? I'm like, no, that's his name. Yeah, it's a good one, man. Solid piece.
Reminds me of the character from Recess. I don't know if you would have seen that as a kid.
Yeah, that was a little bit past, a little bit outside of my zone.
So and then probably a little bit before Owen and them.
Yeah, exactly. They were, when that was out, they were into much more, I would say, younger kids shows. So lots of sing-along stuff like that. This is the next one that I got, man, is from Green Plastic Tunnels. And we all know about Green Plastic Tunnels, man. This is another one. So this is probably my fourth variation of something that's in the little bumper car. And that mummy right there, really, really nice sculpt on that. Green Plastic Tunnels, his father being Stephen Geddes, who is the legendary sculptor. Lots of Star Wars pieces in there, original. He does all the Raider sculpts and some of the Assassin sculpts. I think all the Assassin sculpts for Healy. This is his son, Green Plastic Tunnels, who is a phenomenal artist in their own right. Really cool pieces, really cool casts. How would you describe their work? Abstract?
Surrealism slash abstract, yeah.
Yeah,
Exploratory.
yeah, exactly. Lots of outdoor items for use, randomness, garbage, you know?
But and we've discussed this before, because the reality actually is that there's certain pieces this artist does that they just don't speak to me. That is what it is. But they don't speak to me because they don't speak to me as something that I'm like, oh, I want that to hold it. But then the more and more and more that you start learning about molding and casting and all that, the more that some of the stuff he does, it's hard not to just be kind of blown away with. Whether it be like, what is it, like, whenever he decides to mold and cast a couple, like, crumpled up friggin' blisters. And it's hard not to
Yes.
kind of be like, wait a minute, sorry, you crumpled up that blister, the silicone didn't alter the shapes of it, you were able to keep those crimples that you wanted, you were able to still get like 3 or 4 pulls with that many undercuts and weird, okay, neat, you know? And then
Yeah.
he kind of blows you away when he's got those pieces like that one there, like some of the figures that he does. He kind of just like, it's almost like that classic, like, master it, then break the rules. Right? So if anybody's sitting there being like, oh yeah, you make those because you can't cast figures, it's like, well, no, I can. I can do that when I
Yeah.
want to do that. But I'd
Yeah.
rather kind of explore into this and dive down here. And what's trippy is like I see what's nice about it, because I remember even like you just like told me at one point when I was even kind of like, it doesn't really speak to me, and you're like, there's a piece on my desk that I look at all the time. And you sent me a picture of it, and it's like, I get it. Like I get it, but I don't necessarily, if that makes sense. Like I can picture it. I'm looking at this block. I'm looking at the cuts. I'm like, yeah, that looks aesthetically appealing. It looks like it'd be fun to touch. But for me,
Yeah, no, I get it, man. And I think that's one thing that I really like about his pieces, dude, is that they are, you know, I think a lot of them, especially some of his early pieces, like this guy here, that one for me interprets into something completely different than what it does for a lot of people. You know, this one does it for me, man. It really does. It's I think the landscape on this one, or could just be a stand, but I feel like that's more of a landscape on there. And then you have this guy kind of looking over the landscape, and he's got a wrestling uniform, but he's also got like this crazy eye. It's crazy, man. You're right. It's exploratory, I think, is a great word for it. Using everyday items as landscaping or card backers, something like that. And then there's another, variation. I know you kind of like this one here, the
like it a lot,
creamsicle
man.
dino. Yeah.
Well, and admittedly, like, how is his work any different than if Dali were using resin? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And it ends up being just a very, very cool display.
How many different bumper cars does he have now at this point? 2 different?
1, 2, 3. I think the bumper cars, yeah, there's 2 different sculpts because there's 2 different ones here.
Right.
But I know that there is another piece out there, a bumper car that has a mouse in it. And I don't know. I don't have one of those, so I don't know what that sculpt looks like. But there's two ones here, 2 different ones for sure. The other one that I really liked, this is one of my favorite pieces that I own, is the adult costume with that Tyvek suit on in the bug face. When this came out, dude, I was like, holy shit. I love that one. The stance, I think it's a stance for me in the Tyvek suit. This dude's ready for action, and then looks like he's ready to mop your blood up. So anyway, green plastic tunnels, man. Go take a look.
Good old green plastic tunnel.
Pockets also says he has a black mouse and a yellow car. Yeah. Nice.
You're slacking, B.
Yeah, I know. You're right. I am stuff. And those are, I don't know if they're still available, but they were available for a while. So, but you're right. Slacking on it. He
does pretty small runs, man.
Yeah. Lots of 101s, man. I know early on, lots of his pieces were 101s. And now seems like, especially like in the cars, there's, 3 to 5, something like that, but still pretty low. Colin, what's up, man?
That's what I was just noticing. First time seeing Colin chime in this evening.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you got left over there?
Next, I got. I don't want to put you on the spot, man, but did you remember the shipping stuff that I sent? The shipping pictures that I showed you earlier. The tracking.
Yes, I do.
You have that?
I can.
Okay, so we'll do that one. So this is a piece that I bought off of eBay. It's a cave dweller from Healy, but it's an early one. It's a 2012. All right, Healy made 2012, so it's legit. What I thought was interesting about this one was that if you look, it's Healy's 'S. That's not even something that he does anymore. This is the piece right here. I'm going to leave this one bagged up just because it is from 2012. But the crazy story about this one, man, is this is something that I found on eBay. Originally, right off, I thought it was fake because of the price. Now, this came packaged from Japan, original packaging, $40 shipped. And I thought, no way. At some point, I'm going to read this and they're going to say this is a repo or something like that. And it's not, man. And the thing that blew me away is I was talking to Crumbs about this earlier is the shipping on there. I thought, now I think when I purchased this from Japan, here we go. So
you bought it on the 12th.
Bought it on the 12th.
There on the 14th at 10:55 a.m.
in Japan.
Narita, Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And it landed in Cincinnati at 1:36 p.m. Then it ended up going to processed Narita, Japan, 2:29 p.m. Landed Cincinnati 1:21 a.m. And I'm assuming your house later that day?
Later that same day, dude. Shipped on the 14th, delivered to my house in Vacaville, California, the very next day on the 15th, with a stop in Cincinnati. Actually, two stops, Cincinnati to Sacramento, I guess would be the other one. But and that's DHL. And I don't know if DHL is known for their freaking shipping times, but dude, holy smokes. That was unbelievable.
Did you end up showing Healy that figure? Did he end up letting you know, like, oh hell yeah, man, that's my thing?
Yes, absolutely, dude. Anytime that I find a piece of his online, I always screenshot it and in the description and send it to him and just say, hey man, it's like a trust but verify thing for me. Like, I'm going to trust this person, but if you can please verify that this is good to go. And he said it was. He said, man, that's a fucking relic, dude. That's 2012. 2012 in the package, $40 shipped, 1 day shipping from Japan. That's insane. I'll probably never come across that deal again. And it looks like it came out of a store.
Makes sense.
I don't know.
What's interesting is I've never seen the Heelys, but seeing his logo with the S makes me think of Hershey's chocolate.
It does, man. And you know what? It's so old that I've never seen, because I think it's that same block style, right? Maybe the same font or something that's really close to it. But yeah, what a trip, dude. And that's what threw me off was the header card. I'm like, he doesn't do his like that. And he's like, well, yeah, I did at one time. Many, many moons ago. No, I mean, not me personally, but.
Not me personally. I'm more of a ranch sauce kind of guy.
That's funny, dude. See, Folklore says is that early Healy logo supposed to look like Hershey. Yeah, like same font, right? It's very, very close. And maybe he thought that it did look a little bit too much like Hershey. That's why he changed it. Or there could be, that may not be it at all.
I don't know, man. I think it's like you got a little Healy's kiss. You know, instead of a little Hershey's kiss, he's got a little Healy's kiss when you get.
Oh, Healy's kiss there, yeah. What an interesting piece
of Healy kiss.
2012, nice.
How much would you pay for a kiss from Healy?
Oh man, well, I don't know, man. Depends on what the run is, I guess, right? Is this a one-off or is this like a run that
one
other
of
people are going to
one.
have too? Yeah.
Poor dude sitting there like, whoa, 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 wait, what?
Yeah, right.
Selling
Oh, dude.
kisses now?
Speaking of Healy, dude, I don't know if you saw today, but I got well, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people got it as sold out very fast, but he's circling back on the first round of SWWF wrestlers, and it was the Greedo one. And I think that if you ask somebody if you've seen SWWF and you describe it, they might even say there's a good chance they would say it's that Greedo figure. So he's coming back out with the original 4. I believe those next 4 or those original 4 are going to be the next ones that are coming out. But the Greedo one just came out. He did say when he gets back from vacation that he was going to be making some more of those. So I'm assuming that whatever was out today sold out. But it's a dope figure, man. Super. I love the stance on it. Really, really, really well done. 1 of 1 or a 5 of 5. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
Every backer just he has to put lipstick on and kisses like a signed photograph of you being kissed by him.
Oh man. And then someone would collect those.
Oh, for sure, I would. And hey, maybe that's gonna become my new thing. Instead, like you guys won't even know it, but secretly I'll just start going around to conventions and meeting artists, and then kissing you guys on the cheek and taking a picture, and then eventually I'll release a bunch of cards, and they'll just be cards of you guys being kissed by another mustached man. I say another because I don't know how many mustached men you guys kiss.
Oh man. I got one more box left, and it's Pamro. Would you like to see that, or you want to dive into something else? Okay, cool. So we'll do Pamro. Pamro real quick. This one actually has a couple different pieces in it. I've been very vocal before about collecting Pamro pieces. I think they're great. This is the Globa Fett in white. The glow on that is freaking awesome. Pamro, man, very nice. Globa Fett. I also have a green one of those. This is another one that I've had my eye on for a while, the Pink Elephants. That is the Max Revo in the pink version, but Pink Elephant. That's awesome. Really well done. Articulated, chunky. Always nice. Always, always nice. This guy right here, man, this thing is a freaking stud. This is the Snaggletooth. He calls it the Snaggletooth. This one is in a red and blue marble that glows like crazy. Super, super cool. This one is unpainted. I do have a painted like original version that does glow. And that's another guy where shoot, man, Czech Republic, no pressure pot, articulating stuff, and doing really, really good paint and really, really clean work. Basically in his garage with not a lot of equipment that most people have. So super clean work. Here is a Perrin. Now this one is a little bit different. It's called Steel Monsters, The Only Survivors. That is like the Perrin figure that he came out with recently. This one is in blue. Another sick one, all 3.75. And then here is one more. A little look at that guy too. But first, a lot of his figures I have several different versions of. This is my first one of this particular figure here. But another nice one. Pamro Toys. Pamro always gives out very nice stickers. They got Max Revo stickers, lots of Pamro. If you've ever received a package from us here at Toys Alive, you've probably received a Pamro Toys sticker, just because he's super generous with those. I love it when people make stickers of their pieces. That's the white Globa Fett. Bam, that guy, Snaggletooth, and that I believe is his new logo. Boom. There it is. Pamro Toys. If you don't know, now you know. And definitely check them out. I show Pamro Toys on pieces on here a lot. And that's another one that, God, dude, talk about shipping. That's another one, 30-35 shipped from Czech,
Nice.
from Czech Republic.
From Shipped Republic.
Yeah, Shipped Republic, that place too.
That's a good haul, man. You know, I'm surprised you haven't seen it yet. Anybody who's like a diehard, maybe you don't have to be a diehard. I'm sure at this point it's pretty like out there. But the Max Rebo sculpt we got, basically what ended up happening was when the Kenner guys ended up getting the first screening and they were doing up like the modeling of what they thought the characters would look like, they're seeing the Max Rebo figure at the like keyboard. But of course, Max Rebo, if you actually look at like the character designs for him, it was meant that those things that are playing that are actually his legs, and that his legs are actually up here playing the keyboard. And technically, he's probably supposed to be more similar to like an evolving portion of a dolphin, and that's why technically like those parts that come up here would actually be his front dorsal fins if he was actually like a swimming evolving dolphin. But somehow all of a sudden we end up with this fucking big old fat Max Rebo with these elephant little legs. Beauty.
Yeah. Really nice, man. That's one of my first figures that I can remember actually having was the Cantina band, and the little circular piano accord or keyboard type thing that he had, which I recently saw when somebody dip out.
Yeah, Ordinary is dipping out for the night, man. Sorry.
Ordinary. Right on, man. We'll check you later, brother. But what was I saying before?
You hadn't seen that piano recently, the Max Rebo keyboard recently.
Yeah, at that toy show that Fletch and Hella and myself went to, and it was, dude, I think it was in the package. It was like, I think they wanted like $250 for it. Not cheap, man, not cheap. But
I'll
so
admit,
cool.
I've seen the tardigrade appear a couple of times, and it pisses me. Sorry. I should probably be a little bit more careful with how I say that, because I do understand that, you know what, sometimes people see pieces and they would like to make something out of it. The reality actually is, over here in Canada, especially over in Toronto, like we don't have access to a lot of vintage Star Wars figures. So I'm a little touchier about some of those vintage figures. Plastic Vomit Custom even said it earlier, right? Like he was like, there's times that like unfortunately you see a piece and you're like, you grab the dirty, beaten up ones. Those are what he's hacking up, because like he's like, I don't want to cut up a good mint figure. It's like, yeah, because there's only so many of them floating around. So when you do see like, you know, a tardigrade or a Max Rebo, and it, yeah.
Exactly. You know what, dude? You know what I used to always think of when I saw a Scareglow head. When I saw a Scareglow head, I'm just like, man, I know it really punched somebody right in the gut, dude, to have to pull that thing off, unless they found one, just found a beater. But I mean, shit, man, even beater Scareglows, like, I mean, you're in it for some money. You know, it's not like a $15 deal. You're in it for some good money. Anyways.
So it's an Elephant Mon based in a Max Rebo body. Anyone know who that artist was? His name was like Azai or something similar. Folklore, nice. Yuckamuck, I can't cut toys, it's a flaw. Yuck, man. I don't think I could either, man. It'd be pretty tough, but I don't know. I've not been in that situation.
Quick question for you: Did you get your box from me yet? Probably not.
No.
Okay.
But
I was wondering. Yeah, no, it's cool, man. I was looking, Dylan Clement. I saw Dylan Clement pop up. What's up, Dylan? I sent your Dylan Clement. I believe he's another Canadian. Yeah. But I sent your box and his box out at the same time. So I was just seeing if they arrived yet. But if you don't have yours, he probably doesn't have his either.
Kyle Kerwin just kind of touched too on, like, personally, like, okay, so I can't really speak for this, because again, like, I'm not the one spending the money on the supplies, and I'm not familiar really with like the time and effort going into it. But personally, yes, if I saw a figure that I really, really like, that I wanted to take parts from, I would make a mold of it, I would chop it, I would then begin to kit bash with it. One thing that I actually really admire Titty Bean for is if you actually pay attention to the way he does drops sometimes, it'll be that like you can get the figure that he is basically going to be kit bashing from, and then later you'll see that it's like that figure got dropped months later. Maybe those arms got used, or even the hands, maybe just the boots, maybe the legs, but he'll generally end up casting the figure as a whole first. And now it's almost like now he's got the mold, he's a cast of it, chop it.
Mm.
Now
Yeah.
you're chopping the cast instead of the OG.
Yeah, gotcha. Dylan Clement said he just got his package today.
Well,
Yes,
shucks.
quite welcome, dude. I apologize it took so long to get that to you, but I think we saved on some shipping a little bit because I think there was more than one win in that package. So very cool. Yeah.
And also, Yakumak just said it. I meant good toys, so that's why I said I also can't really speak for that, because the reality actually is I do have a baggie, a Ziploc baggie of hands, arms, heads, guns, and like they're getting chopped off of shit that I don't give a fuck about, but there's probably somebody out there that's like, oh, that California raisin's hands, and you're like, yep, chopped them.
California raisins, man. Yeah. That's funny.
Dude, honestly, the sad reality is that their feet are so perfect for so many things. So big and bulky.
See them everywhere.
See them everywhere.
Yeah.
Hey, I was about to start jumping into some tabs because I figured you've done you're done your unboxings.
Done.
Sick. I was gonna hop into some tabs real quick and try and get that E2K pizza party kind of highlighted, show off some of that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Did you want to do the E2K gift card as we're kind of rolling into that?
Why not? Let's do that too.
Why not? Just kind of roll off into there. Sarah.
E2K gift card coming up.
I know. I always want to say Sarah Booze, but we got it wrong last time. Sarah Bo? Boss? Damn it. We try.
We try. We do. We try.
And sometimes we don't try at all.
Yakubek says there's piles of California raisins and Smurfs that should be destroyed, dude. Those things, I don't think those will ever go away, man. That's something that I consistently see at not only garage sales, but like antique fairs, toy shows.
Bows.
They're everywhere.
Thank you.
Yeah. Everywhere.
So fun thing that I find with the bows, thank you. With the Star Wars vintage figures, it's easy to get almost like removed from them too, because like I was just saying a moment ago, like we don't get many of the vintage figures here in like Toronto or something. They're gonna be like $20. If I'm ordering them online, I'm looking at like $20 shipping. But One Trick's over in Cincinnati, he says it all the time, dude, they are like a dime a dozen. You see the old Kenner Star Wars figures like everywhere, and it makes sense. Like the Kenner factories are there, like the Kenner headquarters is there, right? And yet, meanwhile, when I show him certain bootlegs that I would have gotten as a kid, he's like, I've never seen that toy in my life. And it's like, well, that makes sense. You're not going to try and peddle your bootlegs in a town where half the town is employed by the company making these toys.
Right.
They ain't buying these bootlegs.
Right. Yeah, I agree, man. Carolina Cool Cat, no cola anchor fist. So here's the deal, man. I wasn't home during the week very much, and I was telling Crumbs that I was trying to just go off of memory. And if you're here, Carolina Cool Cat, and if you're okay with it, Crumbs, after we do this,
I love seeing it, dude. I want to see some shit.
Perfect. So after we do this spin, yeah, absolutely, Carolina Cool Cat. And I apologize, bro. I did not. Did you just spin?
No, Worthville and Albert just said his aunt had a box of Aman, and it's just a sick Star Wars figure that, like, he's a sick man. Sorry.
Yeah, no, all good, man. So after we do the spin, we'll take a look at that Cola Anchor Fist, which is residing nice in its bag right now. So cool, man. Let's do it.
Spinning for the E2K gift card. Cash. Earth to Kentucky.
25 spendies.
Well, Dr. Ease.
There he is. Boom. And he just left. Just left a couple
Dre
seconds
Dizzle.
ago. Pocket Salsa, yeah, dude. So next week I have another box from Pocket Salsa with some goodies in there. And I mentioned that to Hurt Toys, and he's just like, what the fuck is that guy doing? I said, I don't know, man. But that was a great box. Let me get the Anchor Fist real quick. It's just out of my reach here.
Do it up, man. I triple dog dare you.
Okay.
while you're doing that, I might as well open up some of these tabs that we've got going on here and show off a little bit of it. For anybody who wasn't aware, there's an Eartha, Kentucky show going on right now. It's going to be all this pizza party stuff, all these artists going on, opening Friday, oh my goodness, June 30th. There we go. So they did the live stream preview earlier today. That's actually sitting up here. That was with Scott Cherry. And I think, to be honest with you, a lot of the great pictures that you're actually going to see of these pieces are on the Eartha, Kentucky website. I've pulled up the tabs for these artists as well, and I'll share them down below in the YouTube chat so that way you guys can have them. But, of course, classic Steve Casino. If you guys aren't familiar with Steve Casino, a lot of times his artwork ends up being with Peanuts. Now, I don't believe that's here, but if you're not familiar with Steve Casino, it is some impressive as hell work. Look at the scale.
Now, was he on Good Morning America or something like that, right?
I believe it. Why the hell not?
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably true.
Well, I feel as though when you're an artist that's doing a very like he's outside of the box. That's almost the best way I can put it. He's outside the box and he appeals to a large area. Like I could definitely see like somebody's mom being like, "Oh, what a neat artist! Like what a neat activity!" You know, I know he's making a Jaws out of a peanut, and you're like, "Mom, shut the front door."
Activity. You're right. That's definitely some language right there that would be used. Oh, that's a fun activity.
He reminded me of that guy from Art Attack that you used to watch, and he'd be like, "Yeah, okay, Mom."
Art Attack. Oh,
jeez Louise.
Oh, bro. Wow. Holy smokes. All right. So, Anchor Fist is whenever you're ready.
Yeah, man. Okay. Sorry.
There we go. Anchor Fist coming up. So Carolina Cool Cat did a drop just recently. This is a 1 of 1 Anchor Fist. And I believe you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, Carolina Cool Cat, but I believe that everything's sold out. The majority of it sold out really, really fast, and for good reason. Anchor Fist has always been, since it came out, man, one of my favorite characters. It's beefy, it's so good. This one is just like you said, a nice cola brown. This is a cool addition right here. Is the tank that's now on there. Everything is Glios. Plugs right back in. Nice and clean. Now, I don't know. I know that there's a whole large Glios community. And I also know that what Carolina Cool Cat is doing within that Glios community is very, very cool, man. Very highly respected by a lot of Glios people. I've heard it firsthand. But yeah, dude, lots of articulation on here at the boots, the thighs, the waist, the anchor, the arms. Dude, sharp looking piece. This is, man, this is probably my 5th or 6th Anchor Fist that I have now. And they're all just freaking phenomenal, man. Nice job, Grant. Cola Anchor Fist. Somebody had snagged still, dude. Okay, so I can't believe that, bro. Like, so he's still got that one squash left in his store. That's that caramel apple one that we were looking at. That's almost hard to believe that thing's still there. Yeah, Bliss, I agree, man. And that's why I got it, dude. I don't have too many brown pieces. But this one's great. I love this one. Sharp looking piece. There was another one that somebody posted, and I want to say it might have been Clam's Toy Box or shoot, somebody that we know. That one that looked like the ocean, it like had sand in the feet, and then it looked like it had almost like a crashing wave in it. It was that really nice, like clear ocean blue. That was a super sick one, man.
I can't think of which one that was right now, man.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you, Grant. Carolina Cool Cat, get in that store and grab that squash. Somebody do it. It's a great piece. Anchor fist.
Boom, 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 boom.
Grant, how many versions of anchor fists are there? Do you know? Do you have any idea?
Sculpture, or do you mean, are you asking about like actual straight up
No,
pour?
you know, I know there's a couple of different variations of the sculpt. And you know, I don't want to say it's progressing because that would mean that like the first ones weren't very good and the first ones were freaking great, just like these other ones. But yeah, just how many different let's say styles, how many different flavors the anchor fist comes in. It's a lot, dude, and I think that's one that's going to keep on going, and I'm sure it'll sell out every time because that's kind of been the track record so far. Very, very cool. Boom. PK Mates, yes. Oceanic, there you go. Great snag.
Fuck
Holy
yeah.
smokes. Yeah.
That's a good place for it too, man. PK Mates has a whole bunch of Glyos shit.
Oh, dude, PK Mates. If you're not following PK Mates, do yourself a favor and get over there and check that page out. Super cool photography. Great account, man. You're looking for some really cool indie toy stuff. Bam, there you go. PK Mates, thank me later.
You cool, hop back into some tabbies real fast?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Solid. Boom, grab that. So where we left off here a moment ago would have been with Steve Casino's pieces. I'm gonna quickly pull this, grab that down here. Make sure to paste that for you guys. Going back on over to the Earth Kentucky page, we've got Jamie Filler. Hand sculpted, hand painted. Now, I'll be honest with you, man. I have no idea what the medium is here, but it looks almost like spray foam with resin teeth.
Dude, spray foam, good call on that, dude. That might be exactly what that is. If it's not, it sure as heck looks like it.
Well done, though, to do it that way, adding in the red on top. Because that totally looks like some cheese, man.
Sure does.
This is fucking well done. Now, when I went over to the Jamie Filler page, I didn't see a post of their work here. So I believe like when they sent it off, E2K would have taken those shots that are on the E2K page. But I'm still going to, of course, copy and paste over the link for you guys for anybody who's interested in there. Kyle Carwin, you're right, man. It might even actually just be pizza. Oh, Steve Casino. Earth Kentucky with Lunar Crypt Co. Warduke really loves pizza. So, of course, you've got, like, the, oh, what's that name? The keeper there.
Rancor Keeper.
Rancor Keeper, there we go, with a Warduke head. Little slice of pizza.
Yeah. Warduke really loves pizza.
Buffet Destroyer. And
did you have Pizza Hut up there?
we did, and earlier Scott Cherry was talking about the cherry dessert pizza, and personally, it instantly made me think of, do you remember how bomb the fucking buffet used to be at Pizza Hut?
Yeah.
Dude, like, I know they still do the buffet, but it used to be like every pizza that they carry was in the buffet, every salad, every pasta, like 3 or 4 different types of dessert pizzas, and a sundae bar. Ooh, damn, I miss those days.
So let me ask you this. When you were growing up, did you and your friends call it Pizza Slut?
No. No,
Yeah,
that's
we
actually
did
the
for some
first time I've
reason.
ever heard that in my life.
Really? Yeah. We for some reason, we said Pizza Slut all the time.
I just think you
And
wanted to say it again there.
Well, and not only that, but then Domino's, we call Domino's Domahos.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So, I mean, I don't know, stupid kids, but what can I say?
So clever.
Yeah, clever. Yeah, really went outside the box for that one.
Great, man. Now, of course, they were talking about this point actually earlier on the live show, Spaceballs reference. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what's funny, man, is Retro Custom Art. I want to say that Retro Custom Art may have done a Pizza the Hut piece like that, but not for this show. I know that they've done Retro Custom Art. Yeah. I'm trying to think. There's Retro Zone.
Oh, you're thinking of Retros on Neo, and yeah, Jesse Sketches.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, see, I knew it, man. I knew there was other Spaceballs pieces that are out there, man, because I saw him at Decon. The comb is the one that I saw. Yes.
Shit.
Dark helmet. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, that.
Which one caught your eye?
The Mike Tyson Punch Out.
Frig.
Yeah.
Available now, but not forever.
One of my favorites, man. Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Street Fight SPX pizza is great stuff, man.
So funny we both keyed in on that. Like, that's a very to the point, frank statement. Pizza is great stuff. I agree.
I fucking love pizza, man. Pizza's so good.
Yeah.
Damn. King Spider toys, man. Well done.
King Spider, if you are still in here, Sadat, what the picture in the background, what is that from, dude? That looks super familiar, man. Do you know what that is?
Well, it looks almost like that movie with the, but that doesn't look old enough. Showbiz Pizza Place. Is it from Chuck E. Cheese?
I don't know. I don't know, man.
Creepy though.
Yeah. You know what it looks like, dude? It looks like an animatronic thing.
Yeah.
At like Disneyland. At first glance, I was like, oh, he used a backing for Splash Mountain, which is totally not what it is, but that looks like, yeah, that's interesting, dude.
It looks like it's the.
Oh shit! He said it was done with AI.
Oh, nice.
Wow, dude, that's cool.
Well done. It's
Interesting,
extra creepy.
Man. It sure as shit is, dude. It is creepy, man. But creepy good.
To be honest with you, is Showbiz like the name of the bear from Chuck E. Cheese, or is Showbiz just something else completely? Because I thought that was the bear from Chuck E. Cheese. Showbiz Pizza Place. Oh, I'm an idiot. Which makes sense. So worst villain ever, like their piece is referencing the show, like the Showbiz Pizza as well. You're not familiar with Showbiz Pizza?
I see. Showbiz was the best place ever. We did not have that out here, dude. The only other one that we had that was along those same lines is a place called Bullwinkle's. And that place is down in San Jose, and I've only been there one time and I was a kid. I don't know what Showbiz Pizza is, dude. Do you know what that is?
I've just got it pulled up on Google. It's equally creepy. Like, here. Because I went to Chuck E. Cheese Bear originally, because I didn't know what the hell I was looking at. And then
okay.
Yes. That is a creepy looking animatronic bear, man.
That looks familiar now. I would never know that that's what it was from. Yeah. Showbiz Pizza.
We learned today.
Yeah, we sure did.
And I mean,
yeah, Folklore said he had Chuck E. Cheese. That's same here.
We didn't know what was going on then, because clearly Worst Villain Ever is all about that as well, man. We're gonna give a quick.
And this guy, yeah, that one right there. Now I haven't seen every piece that's here, that's in this show, but I would bet money that this would be one of my top 3 pieces in that show, dude.
Oh, it's gorgeous, man.
I fucking love that, dude. I love the process that he did, the sculpting in wax.
Well, and if you read this at any point and cried yourself to sleep, then you're gonna want it even more.
That was good, man.
I liked this reach.
You're right, dude. And I didn't even put that together. I saw that, son of a gun. That is freaking, I love that now. I thought that was just a piece. I totally missed the grate on pizza. I'm an absolutely yes pineapple on pizza guy, but only if it's a Hawaiian style pizza, right? Like it's got to be ham and pineapple, or the pineapple doesn't make sense to me. And some people probably want to punch me in the face for saying that, dude. That I
Double
do like it
pineapple
on pizza.
double pineapple, extra cheese, well done, thick crust.
I love the ew that she put after it in its own juice. Ew.
That's what I'm saying. I like the reach here, man. Absolutely. And we know Toyz likes to do the creatures. They could have gone with some kind of like a weird, gross, marbled cheese looking thing, but no. They went with that, and I think it was great.
So fresh. I love that line in there too.
This was a great piece, man.
Yeah.
Seeing this come together caught me off guard too. I'll admit, this is one of those situations where seeing it casted even made a big difference, right? Like looking at him like this, when you're seeing like the process of this, and you're like, okay, I think I understand what this will look like, and then you see it put together, and you're like, oh damn, hell yeah, and then paint it up.
Yeah, dude. It's yeah. And were you watching the show when they were talking about this piece? That's like right about when I came in.
I must have actually walked out.
Yeah, because you know what? I saw you in the room, and when I got in there, and I was like, oh man, I'm late. I freaking missed that one. But they were talking about this. But what's also super sick about this one, dude, if you can go back to where it shows the whole card, he filled the bottom of that bubble with resin, dude. So
oh jeez.
Yeah, and then it's got the ties over the feet, the wire ties that go down through the bottom. But they were saying how heavy that piece was, and if you put it in a bubble, it wasn't going to stand. So the fact that he filled it with resin and now it stands up, they were saying it's an extremely heavy piece. But
gorgeous.
I've never seen that done before, dude. Filled the bottom of the bubble with resin as a stand. What a badass looking Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, that's dope. Recycle Galaxy, well done, man.
Dude, I saw a meme, and it had a picture of that Chuck E. Cheese, and then the new style Chuck E. Cheese, which is a very digital, kind of very cartoonish looking figure. And it said the old school Chuck E. Cheese would have had the new Chuck E. Cheese in the back of a trunk.
You know, I think I forgot to grab the homies here. Sorry, guys. The night gets later, Crumb's brain starts falling apart. So that's going to be for King Spider Toyz. And for the worst villain ever, I think that's probably the best shot we get of the piece.
Yeah, for sure.
And Mallow Toyz. Sorry about that, guys.
See, it says it right there. Great on pizza, everybody.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm craving pizza so bad now, man. I ended up, you know how it is on Thursday nights. Who the hell has a chance to eat dinner on Thursday nights? Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Oh man, see, yes, Colin and Sarah, I agree. Bacon and pineapple. That's what I'm talking about. Skilled one with adding jalapenos to it. Ooh, you devil. Ooh.
So the reality is, I understand. Do you know how many situations I've been in my life before where somebody's like, I know how much you like pineapple on pizza, so I grabbed Hawaiian. And you're like, dude, if there is ham and bacon on that fucking pizza, I'm about to no. But
so would you eat just pineapple on a pizza?
Hell yeah. Double pineapple.
Yeah.
That, man. I want the juices to mix with the sauce into a fruity haven. Suburban Yeti. I'll admit, I was not familiar with this artist until this show.
Same here, man. What's crazy about that one is that piece right there, that comes with all four figures, the ring, and a print for like $1.25, like $125 or some crazy shit like that, bro. Like, those are great, dude. I love the bodies that he used for those. Those are those old school wrestling figures.
Oh yeah, I remember this one here. Isn't that's the barber there? Freaking, well, of course, yeah.
Yeah, Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Yeah, absolutely, dude. You're right.
Damn.
Sauce on top.
I can't think of this head. That's like, and I don't like. I obviously I recognize this guy here, Casey Jones.
Yeah,
I don't recognize either of those heads. Should recognize this head, but not at the moment. It's a TM, one of the like obscure Maybe TMNT figures? Playmates?
Yeah, I'm not
Toxic.
sure.
Pick of the bear. Posted a pre-pegged pick of the bear. Worst villain ever. Pre-pegged pick of the bear. Pre-pegged pick of the bear. Well, now I'm confused.
Well, that's dope.
Because I know we watched you create him out of wax. Worst villain. Feel free to chime. Rat King. Well, now I don't know why you're all just saying Rat King. Oh, thank you, head. Oh my goodness. We'll get there one of these days.
Sumo on the end. I see. Okay.
Another artist I hadn't heard of prior to this show, Sarah Liam.
Dude, no, they were. This is another one that I saw on the show. Look how many pieces, dude. Just look at the face. Look how many pieces are in there. That's insanely good. Look at the pizza, dude. Are you kidding me? Everything
Yeah.
with little fishies.
I wouldn't have the time to do that much cutting. Plus, I'll admit, man, one of my least favorite feelings in the world, not a comment on the actual art, more on the creating of it. I fucking hate any kind of white glue and felt on my fingertips at the same time. Hot damn, man. If your fingers start getting that glue on it, and then now all the fuzzies and little, like, material fabrics. Oh, damn, that is a cringe feeling.
Even the pizza on the inside lid of the box.
Genius, man.
Dude, see, that is some painstaking work. Look at the lattice on the fence, dude.
That's what I'm saying. When I'm looking at all the different individual pieces that had to be applied in here, I'm like, my fingers would be so mad. Are they sewn on?
They
So I'm
look
seeing-
either sewn or pinned, maybe?
Well, because I'm seeing the dimple marks, and I hadn't seen that originally.
Right.
Jeez.
That's
Oh.
some, man, dude, that's some talent right there, dude. If you think about like what made you even do that. And then you're like, well, I could probably create a lot of depth if I put a bunch of pieces of felt with different shapes and sizes on top of each other. Like, that's amazing, dude. The wrinkles that are created in the face from that.
Even, oh shit, I didn't even really think about the face. I was looking at all these rolls down here.
Yeah.
Worst
That's
villain
interesting,
ever. Card real quick. I'm assuming this is what you mean here, man. We're gonna pull up the card.
That's dope. Love that, man.
Yeah, and this is what I was saying, B, if you haven't had a chance to read through this yet, that you can cry yourself to sleep later when you're tucking into bed. It's a nice little
Okay.
tearjerker for you. For anybody who hasn't had a chance yet.
Oh,
Retro Custom Card we've seen. Mallow we have seen. Adam Cherry, he didn't end up posting on his page, but it was on the E2K page here. The Rockafire. Limited edition
Nice.
big poster available on Friday, June 30th, 5 p.m. Eastern, $20. Signed and number edition at 25.
Nice. Bliss, thanks for coming in, dude.
Night Bliss Receptor. I believe I did this with a couple of them as well. Yeah, so I didn't see an update on the Jellico.
Dude, did you see how many? I did not know Jellico. Yeah, see, this is where I'm just like, I'm a little out of my league now.
Yeah.
Well,
25.7K.
Yeah, right. And I don't know who that is.
I can't believe we almost missed this one here, though. The Snapfin Toys.
Oh, Snapfink. Yeah.
Thank
Good
you
one.
for being able to talk. I can't, apparently.
Yeah, no, all good.
If anybody recognizes what the heck this piece is, please chime in.
Oh my goodness, that face looks so familiar, dude.
It's creepy, man.
It is creepy as shit. Maybe that's something they made. That is wild looking though, dude.
I was
Wow.
wondering if it was a carve.
Yeah. Got him a nice fat slice though.
Well, I even love this right here, too.
Hey, yeah.
Like, they didn't have to, but it's like, why not, man? It suits. Snap Finks. I don't think I've checked out much of their work in the past, to be honest with you.
Yeah, there's I don't think I have any Snap Fink pieces, man. Actually, I know I don't. That's not to say they're not a great artist, because they are.
Damn, they're part of the inaction.
Oh, in action figures, yeah. In action figures, man, that package should be coming any day now. We'll take a look at those next week. Oh God, poor guy. Look at him.
That is like that. This ET in particular lives rent free in my brain. Oh, get out of here, dude! I think about art tracks all the time, dude.
Oh man.
Damn, Snap Finks, man. Well done. Fuck's sakes, all the bees.
Oh God.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, dude. So I have the Mac figure from Barbarian Rage, dude. That would be so perfect right next to it, dude. That is so good. Eric with the wheelchair. Damn.
Jeez, man. Oh, frick, dude. Yeah,
Oh, that's great.
I don't know how I've never been over to this artist's page, man. I think this is my first time here, and it's a good time. Literally.
Good. Yeah, I was just gonna say, speaking of good time, there's yeah, it's got some good ones in there, man. Wow.
I want to make sure I pop back over here because again, I feel as though we've hit everybody that has a piece that was posted. Oh, you know what didn't come up here? Jellicoe. So there we go. So here's Jellicoe's
There you go.
for it. I didn't see it on their page, but hand painted wood art available.
Oh, I see. It's just it's a wood cutout of a pizza. Nice.
And then I guess a bunch of the character designs they've got here. Little faces.
Oh yeah, there you go. Shit, did I miss that? You're right. It's character designs. You're right.
Like cartoons.
Nice. Great paintwork, man.
Yeah, dude. Wood likes to drink paint, so like that's I can only imagine how much time and materials went into that if they had to keep on coating it.
Yeah, no kidding. So tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern, so that's 2 p.m. my time. That's when the opening reception is. It does say international buyers, please choose store pickup when checking out. Okay.
Yeah, we were talking about that last week as well. So if international buyers do the store pickup, and then that way they'll be able to tally up for you what the shipping fee would be and get that over to you.
Nice.
There we go, man. Whew. 3 hours, 11 minutes. That's what's up.
It's shorter than last week.
We're getting there. We're getting there. We're learning.
We're learning. We'll figure it out one of these days, man.
We cut a lot of our BS to a minimum this evening, I believe.
We did. We had a lot to get through, man. We actually got through a lot of stuff. You know, we had an hour-long interview. We had 4 unboxings. We had a bunch of giveaways. We didn't even do the other plastic vomit giveaways.
I was going to say, we still have that last giveaway if you want, or we can hold it off for another week. It's your call, man.
Let's do one, man. Let's do the prototype snow trooper and see who gets that. And then we'll save this one for next week. We'll do another plastic vomit next week.
Sounds good, man. So we're going to do that prototype. Anybody who hasn't chimed in yet, please chime into the chat here. I'm going to do a share screen of that wheel one last time for you here tonight. Boom. Boom. Alrighty, and just because I know that you guys actually really like it, I swear, people have told me they like Crumbs, man, I live for this. So, Skyjacks, Porpoise, Peter Moore, Andreas A's, Stormico Station, Jazz Wizard, Porpoise, Salsa, Mr. Ordinary, Bliss Receptor, Bobby Jock, PK Mates, King Dingus, Nim Studios, Monster Bat Toys, Uncle Spank, Field One, Fletcher Sandvik, Mike Shepard's Fight, SPDX, Summit Co, Stripe 7, Jesse's DeVincent, Carolina Coal Cat, Recycle Galaxy, Bootleg Toy Co, Cash, Hello Radical Toys, James Arson Toys, Dylan Clement, Death and Strawberries, Western Goods, Titty Bean Toys, Folklorian, Ryan Muro, Sedat H, Suki, Who's the Fuck Are We, Colin Hasbin, Mekaducky, Yakima, Kyle Kerwin, Sarah, Bose. Sorry guys, apparently I'm faster in the beginning parts of the show, but if you do not hear your name chanted out there, please chime in. We will add you onto the wheel for that lovely proto figure provided by Plastic Vomit Customs. And no, Kyle Kerwin, man, I did not see that shark attack. I don't think I can even actually probably fathom what a shark attack looks like, man. You guys have oceans where you are. I'm
Oh
not
my
down.
God, dude. I've seen those You know what, man? When I lived in Half Moon Bay, there's a beach over there just north of Half Moon Bay called Surfers Beach. And they've had numerous shark attacks over there over the years. And sometimes you see video of them and they're never good. Ever.
You know, I think probably the best shark moment of all time, no matter who you are, no matter what you're trying to argue here, if you go back in time and you watch one of the original Batman, the Adam West Batman movies, there's a scene where the shark ends up trying to bite up onto the ladder, and he says, "Robin, grab me the shark repellent." And of course, Robin like grabs the shark repellent, and then instead of just handing it down to him, has to like hang upside down to hand it to him, and then Batman sprays it in the shark's face. Yeah, good shit. You guys know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up Adam West Batman shark scene.
Um,
Nobody's chiming in. I'm gonna spin that wheel, homie.
Hit it up.
Uh,
Winner is
8-bit Mike Toyz. That is who Mike Stratford is, right?
Absolutely. 8-bit Mike, you got a proto trooper coming your way, my dude.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I'll hit you up for your address. I don't know if I have it or not. I can't remember. I should with all that freaking box of madness he sent a while back.
But have we ever sent anything to him? See, it startled V so much that even he froze at the thought of it. He can't even fathom whether or not we've sent you anything as well. That's where jumping the shark came from. Happy Days, in the episode where Fonzie decides to jump the shark, and it's literally one of the worst moments in all of television history. Is him literally jumping the shark. There we go. Worst villain ever knows what's up. Yep, Kyle Kerwin knows what's up. Death and strawberries, you troll. Well, B to the J seems to have vanished from the chat here this evening. I believe that we're at 3 hours and 15 minutes. Unless that guy decides that his internet's going to come right on running back, I think that it's just going to be me and all of your lovely faces. So this evening, thank you very much, guys, for chiming in, hanging out with us for this long. Plastic Vomit Customs, honestly, cannot thank the two of you enough for coming in this evening, giving us that much of your time. I know that time is one of the most expensive things and one of the most valuable things that we can have. So we really, really appreciate you guys giving us that time. B, homie, I see you in the chat there, my friend. And I'm about to close up anyways, dude, unless you've got any final words that you'd like to try and pop on in here for. Let me know, because otherwise I think all the homies would like to get on with their evening. Yeah, exactly, Pocket Salsa. I think he was just pretending to be frozen as well. I think we're going to end it there, guys. Thank you very, very much again, and we'll see you guys all Thursday night, same time. Check out also Toys on Tap Monday. There's going to be this weird thing going on with Crumbs and B to the J and apparently Toys Alive talking on there. I know nothing. Boom.